Chai, is this what's going on? Like, there's no audio. Oh no. Yeah, family tree. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. Just fine. If not, talk to me. Talk to me. Still no sound. Open his mouth, but the words don't come out. Bam. Okay, it's good. Let me just check over here. Let me know if the audio is coming out yet again. Audio input capture. Yeah. It's looking like it should be coming out anyway. Just gotta let me know, family tree. Just gotta let me know. Okay, so yeah, I'm liking this screen actually because now I can actually read you guys' comments. And it's looking good. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, shouts out to everybody who's actually in tune with us right now. Rich Kids up in the building, Basta Silver, TDS, Dave, Kofi. Yeah. We're here, baby. We're here. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick show, real quickly. The other day we came on, we did a live stream, and I guess that everybody wanted to talk about this particular topic here was to do with that Mohammad Hijab video, right? That Mohammad Hijab video was kind of crazy still. So we're going to just discuss it a little bit. I'm actually going to open up for you guys to come on and have a discussion with me, okay? So the panel will be open up shortly. I will send over a Skype link where you guys can just join us and, have your say. I saw a lot of you guys were active, fully active in the comment section. So let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Let's go into it. And what I will do, because a lot of people don't even, it's like, oh, this is the first time I'm kind of hearing about this. Like, did he really say that? So what I'm going to do, inshallah, is play that particular scene or, play that. Okay. Let's see if we can play it. I have to go to Google, right? I have to go to Google. Give me a hot second. So I'm playing this from the Apostate Prophet's channel because it's there. David Wood did something as well, but it's also Mohammad Hijab's channel. But it's a longer. It's a long clip. It's a longer clip. It's about 12 minutes long. So I just wanted to get like this is really a cut and paste, cut and paste, but it kind of just highlights what exactly Mohammad Hijab was saying. So I want to see if I can play it. Okay, so there we go. Let's get it. I'm gonna have to just increase the speed. I hate slowness. So context real quickly. Mohammad Hijab is actually talking to a Quran Muslim, a Quranist. Okay, that's who he's talking to. So we're gonna go into it. Go.
Just the Quran, you will get.
Okay, you guys saying that it's echoing. Lord have mercy. Okay, cool. Since it's echoing, you know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do is this. Let me know if it's still echoing. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Let's go.
The reason why I'm saying sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old is not found in the Quran at all. If you just read the Quran, if it's halal, it would be halal to have sex with a 5-year-old.
Okay. So let me know, family tree, if it's still going, if it's still kind of like that for you guys. Let me know. Shouts out to Arjuna for hitting us up with the super chat, baby. Salute to you guys for that. Yeah, family. So let me know if it's still echoing. I'm loving your feedback. Okay. So Mohammad Hijab's puts forward. If you just read, it's still echo. Oh no, it's still echoing. Give me a hot second then. Let's see. Can we change that? Testing 1 2 3. Let me know if it's still echoing, family tree. Let me know if it's still echoing. Just get on with the stream. Oh no. Okay, let me know if it's still echoing because I need to make sure that you guys are getting like the best. Okay. I want to make sure that you guys are getting the best. It's not about getting on with the stream. Let me just double check. Can I hear this? Testing 1 2 3. Let me know if it's still echoing. It sounds good. It sounds good to me. It sounds good to me. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. It sounds much better to me. Let me know if it's actually better or if it's not better. So, let me bring this down as well. Testing. Yeah, we go. All right, cool. So back to it. Let me just rewind then. Rewind. We're gonna play this Mohammad Hijab video real quickly again. And we're gonna edit this. We're actually gonna have to edit this. Okay. So let me start this again. And let's go, baby. So yeah, everybody who's in tune right now, greetings, welcomes. This video is going to be about the Mohammad Hijab conversation that he had with a Quranist, a Quran-only Muslim speakers corner. I believe this took place about 4 years ago. All right, this is actually on Mohammad Hijab's channel. But what was great is I've taken it from Apostate Prophet's channel, because it's a edited version of 2 minutes, so it condenses everything that Mohammad Hijab was saying, the big punchlines, into 2 minutes, and I'm going to present that to you. I believe it's also on David Wood's channel. He gives an explication on it, but I'm just going to play this for you guys, and hopefully you guys can hear it. We're going to break it down, and we can go through this. Okay, let's go.
If you look just at the Quran, you will get the indication that you can have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. The reason why it's haram to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old is not found in the Quran at all. If you just read the Quran, it is halal. It would be halal to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. Chapter 65, verse 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us who you can divorce and who you cannot divorce. And then he says, وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنِ وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنِ, and the ones who have never been pubescent before. And by the way, this is very important, yeah? I want all Muslims to be aware of this.
Cheese, 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 Jesus Christi. All right, I'm going to just hold tight there real quickly, okay? So he said a lot. He said a lot, right? He said a lot. It's kind of mad, right? It's kind of mad. So if you are a Quran-only Muslim, if you only follow the Quran, and this should be for anybody, to be honest with you, okay? For anybody, not just only a Quran-only Muslim, for somebody who just picks up the Quran for the very first time and is reading it. Somebody who is a Christian, somebody who is a Jew, somebody who is an atheist, somebody who is a secularist, somebody who doesn't believe in God nor religion, okay? Picks up the book. His claim is that you would get the impression, okay, that you can marry somebody who's even 5 years of age, as young as 5 years of age, even younger than that, really and truly, somebody who is prepubescent, okay? That is what he is saying. That is what he's saying, okay? Now, I'm going to let it continue. I'm going to let it continue, because this to me should be shock horror. Okay, what he's saying is very much so shock horror. But let's continue.
The reason why we don't have sexual intercourse with 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds or whatever is not because of puberty.
The reason we do not have sex with these minors is not because of puberty. The Quran, remember this, okay? Remember this. This is according to Mohammad Hijab. This isn't according to Islamic scholars. This isn't according to Sharia. This isn't according to, I don't know, whatever else there is out there, right? This is according to Mohammad Hijab, all right? Let's just quickly separate all of that real quickly. This is what Mohammad Hijab is saying, all right? So I don't want to, throw everybody underneath the bus with this. This is what Mohammad Hijab is saying, and we're going to listen to what he has to say.
Wait a minute, what did you say?
Even he couldn't. He's like, hey, he knows the audience is like, what the hell are you saying, Mojo?
Not because of puberty, because that verse in the Quran actually says lam yahid. They never had puberty before.
It doesn't say that they never had puberty before. It says those who are not menstruating. But, I'm not going to tidbit. I'm not going to be here or there, because he speaks Arabic. He's an Egyptian. He knows Arabic. But he doesn't know the difference between pubescence and periods or menstruation. But that's another story for another day. I'm not even gonna hark on it. Let's just continue. Let's continue, Mr. Mohammad Hijab, Lion of Islam. Let's go.
You can't go around that. The Quran doesn't say anywhere in the Quran that the woman has to be pubescent. I dare you to find one verse in the Quran where it says you're not allowed to marry someone based on...
Chai! Now he issues out a challenge for everybody, okay? He issues out the challenge. Find me one verse! One dot no title! No, find me one verse that says...
I dare you to find one verse in the Quran where it says you're not allowed to marry someone based on harm, or you're not allowed to have sexual intercourse based on harm, or you're not allowed to marry someone based on puberty. Get me one verse in the Quran which says the woman has to be pubescent. In the Quran it says, it says you're not allowed to marry your mum. It says you're not allowed to marry your sister, your auntie. Where does it say you're not allowed to marry a prepubescent? I'm looking for...
Where does it say? He's saying, yeah. Catch it now. All my Muslims, y'all need to catch this now, okay? and holler at your boy, because I don't know, some Muslims you may agree with this. I'm not even gonna. Some Muslims you may agree with this, but I know a lot of you Muslims out there, yeah, be looking like. I see a lot of Muslims in the crowd be looking like. Wait. Let him land. He landed in something else, but let him land same way. Let him land. It says, where does it say you're not allowed to marry a prepubescent? Fudge my life. According to this, let's just break this down. Where does it say you're not allowed to marry a pubescent? So basically saying the Quran says you are allowed to marry a prepubescent child. The Quran is saying, according to Mohammad Hijab, based upon this, is saying that the Quran is saying you are allowed to marry a prepubescent child. Goddamn.
One verse that you can say, you pinpoint it and say, this is where it says prepubescent marriage or whatever is not allowed. So if you're Quran alone, you're steered towards pedophilia, and it's a type of...
Chat! If you're Quran alone, yeah? Hear this. You're steered towards pedophilia, but he even has to clarify because he knows what he believes as well. A severe type of pedophilia. God damn.
Pedophilia, a wife abuse, a severe type of wife abuse.
Okay, I'm gonna just scroll it back there. All right. So family tree, talk to me. Okay, I want you guys to actually talk to me. You've heard that. You've seen that. Let me just make sure my voice is coming through on this one. Let me just make sure it's coming through on this one. Is my voice coming through? There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, hopefully it's coming through. But it's not coming through the right mic, though. That's the only problem I'm seeing. Dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum, dum. And let's just bring it back to my H6. Boom, boom, boom. Testing. Anyways, yeah. Okay, should be good. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. I think I'm gonna put it to this particular view, okay? Because that's working. This is working too. Yeah, this is working, I believe. Okay. So I don't know, I don't know which one is coming through actually. So let me go to this one. That one might have an echo. I'm not too sure. Let me try a thing. Bam. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, should be good. Yeah. So family tree, talk to me. I think, to be fair, I think he's trying something. You need hadiths for clarification when there is confusion, like with the Torah and the Talmud. That's what he said about the Quran alone. Interesting. This is very interesting, to be honest with you. All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna ask, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? Is this what the Quran actually teaches? Is this what the Quran teaches? I want my Muslims to come through. Let me know. Like, I'm gonna do this where we can have a nice little dialogue and let us know. Is this what the Quran actually teaches? I've got to hear it from you guys. Okay, that is looking kind of mad to me. Okay. Now, let me bring this over here. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Talk to me, family. Talk to me. I'm waiting for you guys to actually talk to me, so we can go into this. Okay. I'm waiting for the comments. So remember, just tag Titanstv so your comments can come up live on air. Okay, I'm gonna do that. But let me go through now. So I'm gonna say this, yeah. Like, I'm gonna say this. The Quran Yeah. And this is being completely unbiased. I can listen to what the atheists have to say. I can listen to what the Christians have to say. I can listen to anybody. Okay? I can listen to what the Muslims have to say. You have them being doing apologetics. We can listen to the polemics of the Christians and everybody else. And each one is going to come with their own little, their own little something. Their own little something to kind of, convince your mind of one reality to another reality. Okay? But I'm going to go into this today, okay? Completely non-biased. And I want you guys to talk to me and let me know what your thoughts are on it. Because I spoke about it before. And I said, if you picked up this book and you read it, you will not come to the same conclusion that this particular individual, Mohammad Hijab, is coming to. But there is a reason why Mohammad Hijab actually comes to this conclusion. And I'm not going to say that Mohammad Hijab is alone in this conclusion. Because a lot of Muslims come to this conclusion. A lot of Muslim scholars come to this conclusion. But the reality is, this is not what the book actually teaches or says. And we're going to go into this. Since people are actually interested in this particular topic. So let's go into it actually. Yeah, let's go into it. Let's go to browser again. Let's go to browser share. And this time let's change it over to Okay, cool. So this is where he's coming from. Okay. Let's see if I can get a nice one. I always like, what is it called? What is it called? Bookmarks. Let's go. What is it called? Corpus. I think it's corpus. Quran. Let's go to corpus Quran. There we go. 65. Verse 4. Okay. Go. All right. This is it here. Okay. This is it here. And I want to see if everybody can catch on to this. Let's go instead of doing word for word. We can do word for word. Actually, let me put it here word for word first, so you guys can actually see it. So if you want to go to corpus Quran yourself, it's got it there, literally word for word. It breaks down the grammar, the morphology, the syntax. Everything is broken down in there for you to understand who is an Arabic speaker, but studied Arabic quite possibly. And you can just learn it. You could just learn it. Okay. So there. There it is, but I'm going to go to English translation of what it says. Okay. So there's various different versions of it, and I'm just going to go to the first version. You can read both versions, like all these different translations. Here, I'm going to go to the first one real quickly, and we can kind of read it. It says here. Actually, let me go to TikTok. TikTok seems a bit more easier reading. And for such of your women, the spirit of menstruation, if ye doubt, their period of waiting shall be 3 months, along with those who have it not. And for those with child, their period shall be till they bring forth their burden. And whosoever keepeth his duty to Allah, he maketh easy his course. His course easy for him. Okay. So it continues. But your stream is broken. You have a very bad overlapping echo. See, this is what I'm talking about, mate. What's going on? Do you know what it is? Guess what? It's no longer gonna echo. Yeah. Do you know why it's no longer gonna echo? Because I'm a bad man, and it shouldn't echo anymore. Let me know if it's echoing. Because if it's echoing, it's the gremlins trying to get at it. Yeah. So what are you saying, family tree? Let me know if it's echoing right now. If it's echoing, drop a 2. If it's not echoing, drop a 1. Okay. Let me know. Yeah. And first and foremost, I do have a mic. Okay. The mic alone is £400 even. It's £400 even. Don't tell me if you don't have the pata. And second of all, nobody's insulting Islam, Mr. Gamer 105. Who is insulting Islam? Again, some people may have terrible comprehension because we're not doing that here. Okay, we're discussing something. All right, and again, if you are offended, it is not my intention to offend. My intention is to educate. Okay, let's go. Let's go. And if I'm offending, the only person here I'm possibly offending would be Mohammad Hijab for his idiocy. Okay, quite frankly. But anyways, so let's go. We'll go into this now. And we quite clearly see here, yeah, it's talking about what? And for such of your women as the spirit of menstruation, if ye doubt, their period of waiting shall be 3 months, along with those who have it not. And for those with child, their period shall be till they bring forth their burden. Okay? So this particular chapter here, and this particular verse, is about something. This chapter is called Surah Al-Talaq, meaning the divorce. How you go about divorcing somebody. Okay? How do you go about divorcing somebody? Okay? And I want to see if everybody here understands grammar. Okay? How do we understand grammar? And I'm going to get to it. We're going to go into tafsirs later on, okay? Because we're going to do a nice little evolution of things, okay? How do we understand grammar? I want to know who or what is the subject matter. Okay? Who or what is the subject matter in this particular verse? Okay? That is what I want to know. Let me just quickly see something. I know I've got some good stuff in here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll make it quite simple. I've got a nice little key here for everybody. The subject matter is to do with women. Okay? The subject matter here is to do with women. This is what perplexes me. Because when you read, it's like, are we failing to have comprehension here? The verse is talking about women and 3 categories of women. The first category is those women who despair of menstruation. The second category is those women who are not menstruating. And the third category are pregnant women, women with child. The whole verse is talking about what? It's talking about women. So I'm confused. Please, anybody. In what language does the word women, mean men? Is there any language that women means men? No. In Arabic, does women mean men? No, so clearly we're not talking about men, are we? No. We must be talking about boys. No. The word here is women, nisa, women. So it cannot mean boys, right? Okay. No. But it must be talking about girls. The word here is nisa, women, not girls, jariya. Do you understand? Not sabi, boys. It's not discussing those things. It's talking specifically, quite specifically, about women. Which perplexes me at times. Like, because if I was reading any other book, and it says women, and it gives you 3 different categories of women, like, it's going to be very difficult for you to say, oh no, it means girls. Oh no, it means boys. Like, nobody does that. But somehow, when we come to religion, and when it comes to whether we're for Islam or against Islam, like, I even heard David Wood. I was watching David Wood's thingy, Bobby, and it said, and he continually says women. But then he even says girls. I'm like, how? How did we get from women to girls? You go through the Quran and it tells you to marry good women. Women. So if it's constantly saying women, I want to understand, please, let me know, how do we get to girls? You know? How do we actually get to girls? Talk to me. I want to know, how do we get to girls? Who else was it? Who was I listening? Who, you know? And the wickedest thing is, I was alone with this. So yeah, I've really been just talking to myself. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I've just been talking to myself. I can't believe. I don't know what's going on. I think like the gremlins and the gods here don't want me to actually do the show because it's kind of mad. Lord have mercy. All right, let me do this. I will cancel that out. Let's see if I can cancel this out. Yeah, we'll cancel that out. Let's see. Let me see. Where did we get up to last? Let me know, family tree, because I've really been talking to myself. Let's get into it. Family tree. God. Oh yeah. We are starting again and again. It is frustrating. I'm not even going to lie, family. I'm not even gonna lie, it's kind of frustrating. Alright, cool. Let me start the thing all over again, yeah, because it seems as though it's just not trying to work. So this is what we're gonna do, family tree. It's what we're gonna do. Okay, we are gonna start over again. Okay, and then hopefully, let me just make sure this is working. This is echoing though. So let me turn off one mic. I think I'm gonna turn this. No, I'm gonna turn this mic off. Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of frustrating. So what I'm gonna do, okay, is just play the video. Yeah, we're gonna most probably have to play the video again, like, because the sound is testing. Yeah, that's coming through. All right, cool. I don't even know, family tree. I don't even know what to say because it's doing the madness. All right, but I will do this. I'll do this. Let's go back into it real quickly. All right, cool. That's gonna be echoing. So let's mute that out. Okay, cool. Hopefully this should work because I'm annoyed. Anyways, all right, let's go back to the Quran. The Quran. No, it's not the Quran. Yeah, let's go back to the Quran. So the Quran again. Let's go back. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the Quran. So the Quran talks about over here, yeah. As for your women past the age of menstruation, in the case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. As those who have not menstruated as well. As for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery. And whoever is mindful of Allah, He will make their matters easy for them. Okay, so. All right, so this is what the Quran is saying. All right, and again, we're going to go back into this and see who is the subject matter. Like, what's the subject matter? Who we're talking about? What are we discussing right here? And clearly, if we go back into the scripture, we see and we look at the words. It's talking about nisa. Okay, we're discussing women. That is the subject matter. We're discussing women. We're discussing 3. Okay, let me just make sure 3 different types of women, but they are all women. The first group of women were the women who are despaired of menstruation. The second group of women are the women who aren't currently menstruating. The third group of women are pregnant women. Okay? Pregnant women. Again, the subject matter here is women. It's got nothing to do with prepubescence. It has nothing here to do with children. It has got nothing here to do with child. A woman is a woman. A woman is not a man. A woman is not a boy, and a woman is not a girl. A woman is a woman. Okay? Bim, bam, bom. Simple. So, in our normal language, if we're speaking about women, we quite clearly know we're not discussing girls. But somehow, in the religious mind, we're now discussing girls. It doesn't make any sense. Furthermore, Tabari. Okay, Tabari goes into this. Tabari goes ham, yeah? And he discusses the Arabic language according to this, okay? He goes in on this. Let me just quickly pull it up real quickly. Hopefully you guys are hearing me clear enough. And I'm going to go into the, let's see, to the Adobe, boom, boom, boom. All right, hopefully you guys are hearing me, right? Perfect. Cool. He discussing, Tabari discussing chapter 2, verse 237 of the Quran, discusses about women, okay? He says here, children are not called women. Rather, they are called children or little girls. Okay? Nisa, women, in Arabic is the plural of imra. And the Arabs do not refer to the female infant or child or prepubescent as woman, just as they do not say to the male prepubescent child man. Okay? There is a clear distinction. There is a clear demarcation. Do we understand that, family tree? I need you lot to just talk to me. Talk to me. Let me know if you actually understand that. That where the Quran is talking about women, marrying women, divorcing women, it has nothing to do with girls, boys, men, or prepubescent children. It's got nothing to do with that. It's quite clear in the language. All right? Now, if any of you guys think I am wrong for saying that, okay, let me know. Let me know if I am wrong for saying that. Okay. Someone here asks, is a woman a female? I would hope all females are women. Sorry, I would hope all females. No, I would hope all women are females, but not all females are women. There you go. Do you like that one there? I like that. Let me repeat that one. I sounded smart. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. All women are females, but not all females are women. How does that make sense, Cal? Because not all females have reached the age of majority where they are women. Females can be girls, right? I hope that's good. You're saying all three groups are women. Yeah, are women. Plural. It's a plural form. Plural noun that's being used. Women. Nisa is plural for women. Like insan is plural for man. Okay? Let me quickly read through your comments. Those who have not yet menstruated are not women, they're children. No. Those who are not menstruating. Okay? There are various reasons why a woman does not menstruate. Right? There could be psychosomatic reasons why they're not menstruating. There could be medical reasons why they're not menstruating. There could be breastfeeding, hence they're not menstruating. There are various reasons why a woman is not menstruating. Just as though a woman could be in menopause, therefore she is not menstruating, which is really accounted for in the first section of the verse. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. I hope that makes sense, because those who are not menstruating doesn't mean that they are girls, because the subject matter is women. The subject matter is not women and girls. Okay, it doesn't say women and girls, so therefore you can understand it that way. It says quite specifically we're discussing women. Women. It's like saying the man. We're discussing men. You see the men who have not had a wet dream yet. No. Men who haven't had a wet dream cannot be classified as men. They now must be classified as boys. Boys who have not had a wet dream. But yet the sentence says men who have not had a wet dream. If I say men who have not had a wet dream, you cannot now try to re-translate that, what I've just said, and say, no, he means boys who have not had a wet dream. No, I'm saying specifically men who have not had a wet dream. Just like the Quran is saying women who are not women who are not menstruating. Are you with me? Are you with me, family? All right, cool. Now, we're going to continue. Okay? We're going to continue. So, as long as we understand the basic of what the Quran actually says, I just want to make sure we're clear there. If anybody has doubts that the Quran is not talking about women, or is not talking about women, please say, I have a doubt that it's not talking about women. Say it. I want you guys to say it, please, so we can go on to the next point. Because as far as I know, as far as me being able to read and understand grammar, I can read that quite clearly. That is discussing women. I could read everywhere in the Quran where it discusses marriage, and it quite clearly says women. Never says child or prepubescent child. Never says that, you know. Can you imagine? Nowhere in the Quran it says you can marry a child. Yeah? I'm just saying. Unless you could find it, you let me know. Now, is there places within side of tafsirs? Is there places within side of hadiths? Is there places, other places, where it discusses marrying minors and children? Then I will tell you, yes, there is. Remember, like, this is completely unbiased. I'm not trying to prove Islam false, and I'm not trying to prove Islam to be true. That's not my job. That's you religious people's jobs. That's not my job. I'm not dealing with that. We're dealing with straight education, straight academia. We're dealing with straight scholastic methodologies. We're dealing with the literature. What does the literature actually say? Are you with me? If you want to do exegesis and then add 1, 2 swings to it, then that's down to you. I'm not doing that. Okay, the Orthodox Moor says, if you have this time, please bring up 24, 58, 59. It clearly uses language to say a pubescent child that is not used in 66.4, of course. Yeah. So anybody else, you can see the difference between a prepubescent child in 24 verse 58:9 versus, an adult woman. Okay? All right. Let me quickly read some more questions and comments. Seems like the Prophet of Islam had a different understanding of this verse. He must have misunderstood it, Kalam. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Smile. So yeah, now we can discuss other things now. Okay? Because we can discuss this now. Because it seems as though, okay, that although the so-called Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, got these verses revealed to him about marrying women, got other verses, talking about marry up to 4, but if you cannot handle that, only marry 1. Yet somehow he had 9 to 13 wives and he married an underage girl, a minor, according to the Hadiths and according to Islamic traditions, right? Right? I'm not going to say no. I'm going to tell you straight up. Like, according to Islamic tradition, you're 100% correct. 100% correct. How did we get there, though? How the hell did we get there? Cool. So, let's go, baby. Let's go. So nobody has... I just want to make sure, does anybody have an issue with what the Quran says? First and foremost. I just want to know. Yeah? Then we can move on to the next points. Okay? Then we can move on to the next points. If we don't have an issue, if we have an issue, it needs to be explained. If we don't have an issue, we can move on to the next points. Okay? Because I'm just going to quickly go back into it. And I'm going to do word for word. Yeah? Over here. Okay? So over here, and those of you who have despaired of the menstruation, mahidi, yeah, right here, among your women, okay, nisa'kum, okay, so nisa is the word for women, okay, this whole subject is for women. If you doubt, then their waiting period is 3 months, and the ones who are not menstruating, this word here should be menstruating, not menstruated, but still, we move. Okay, because now we have to start talking about what does a plural imperfect verb actually mean. But that's for another day. Okay, and those who are pregnant. Okay, so all of this is discussing women. Okay, those who have despaired from the menstruation, those who are not menstruating, and those who are pregnant are all criteria of women who are not actually currently menstruating. They're not currently menstruating because of 3 different reasons, right? This is what it's discussing. If we're fine with that, we can move on to the next level. Okay? We can move on to the next level of where these perversions or these issues actually arise. Okay? T.S. Dave says, yes, I've mentioned it 4 times. Is he ignoring my point on the usage of women? Oh, let me go back into T.S. Dave. I've said it a few times now, Titanstv. Can you say there are 50% women in the population and means all females can hear? Hold on. Let me actually go and see if I can read, because it's cutting it out a little bit. Let's see if we can get Dave's thing. Oh no, it's going fast. Okay, so Dave, you know what? I can't read your comment, and that's not me trying to be like funny or nothing like that. Is that I seriously can't read your comment because it's gone past the screen. It's scrolled past, so I can't actually read it. Okay, forgive me. Forgive me. Okay, but if you would like to post it again, because you said you posted 4 times, please post it again, and I'll try my very best to actually read it. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, baby. Cool. So anyways, let's go into this now. I'm actually going to go into a little bit of history with you guys. A little bit of history, so you guys can actually start to understand a little bit what's actually taking place. All right. So, but first of all, let me just re-emphasize this. According to the Quran, we've gone through this now. Yeah, this is what we've gone through. We've gone through the Quran. The Quran clearly says that you marry women. Okay. Then we back that up using the Arabic language via Tabari that discusses that women are not called children and girls. Okay, we've discussed that. We pulled that up. Okay, so therefore this particular verse is talking about women. Okay, women, not prepubescent children, not prepubescent man. No, sorry, not prepubescent male child, a boy, etc. It's talking about women. Okay, we've gone through that. Cool. Next. I want to bring up certain things over here, like this. So in early Islam, we're going way back in time now. We're going way back in time. Let's see. Can you lot see that good? Good. Remember, you lot can always screenshot a lot of this that I'm showing you guys. Yeah. All right. So we're going back to the times of Shafi'i. Okay. In the times of Shafi'i, for those of you who don't know who Shafi'i is, he's one of the four main imams, or four imams that they call them the four imams. Yeah, the four imams, and these are the four imams of the four major schools of Islamic jurisprudence. All right, and he died 204 AH. 204 AH. So if we do the maths, that's roughly in the 800s. Okay. 800 and I don't know, maybe 36, maybe 836. He might have died. I'm gonna have to just pull it up later on and just clarify that. Okay, but during his time, yeah, there were different groups of people in competing with madhabs or jurisprudence, or the way to look at the Quran and have an understanding of fiqh, which is jurisprudence. Okay, and I'm gonna just go through the three main groups that he discusses. Okay, and this is from the book Rethinking Tradition in Modern Islamic Thought. Okay, after Shafi'i, okay, everything changed. It opened up the floodgates to a whole heap of madness. All right, where I'll put it like this: Hadiths were equated to revelation. Okay, Hadiths were equated to revelation. What does that mean? Hadiths, or what was considered to be authentic hadiths, had the same weight as the Quran. Meaning, prior to that, they never understood hadiths having that much weight. But for him, any hadith that they now say is authentic can now supersede even the Quran. And we get into abrogations and stuff like that. So that there is a nice course in itself to learn about. But first, let me just quickly go into this. Okay, so the three different groups that they were, yeah, are this. Ahl al-Ray were eclectic in their approach to sources and preferred the accepted practices. Let me just quickly maximize this, so hopefully you guys can have a better look. There you go. Okay, sources, and preferred the accepted practices of their own school above systematic application of a universal theory of legal authority. This was the party of the earliest region-based schools of law and jurisprudence. These schools recognized and made use of prophetic sunnah, but they failed to distinguish it sharply from other sources. Sunnah was but one source among many. Thus they upheld the conclusions of their own methods of legal reasoning in the face of contradictory hadith. For the Ahl al-Ra'i, coherent application of their own doctrine took precedence over systematic reliance on the Quran or prophetic sunnah. Now, the two groups that fell into this, okay, were the Hanafi and jeez, man, like ultra, the two groups that fell into this were the Hanafi and the Maliki. The Maliki? How do you say it now? Malikis. The Malikis. There you go. The Malikis. Those are the two schools that actually fell into that. Let me just quickly bring it up. Let's see. Al-Ray. Okay. Boom. Nice and quick and easy. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So, its proponents, which included many early jurists of the Hanafi school, used to term and considered blah, blah, blah. Does it say Maliki? Yep. Over time, Hanafi and Maliki jurists gradually came to accept the primacy of the Quran and Hadith. But yeah, so it's the Hanafi school and the Maliki school would fall into this particular group, okay? And we're going to make it make sense in a little while, okay? We're going to make it make sense in a little while, but we're just giving you a nice little overview of the different schools of thoughts, okay? So, you have that, and then you have another group called the Ahl al-Kalam, okay? The Ahl al-Kalam, okay? And they took a more radical line, rejecting the authority of Hadith altogether, okay? So, yeah, Hadith altogether. What we know of their ideas about the Sunnah is drawn primarily from polemical works written against them. We get our first substantial view of the arguments from the writings of Al-Shafi'i. During Al-Shafi'i's time, the Ahl al-Kalam are portrayed as rejecting almost all Hadith reports, okay? Hadith reports. For traditions to be accepted by them, the assurance of the accuracy would have to match the reliability of the Quran. They accepted no reports about the accuracy of which there is the smallest doubt, and they believe that Hadith, being of uncertain veracity, should never be allowed to rule on the Quran. They were, in fact, reluctant to accept any extra Quranic evidence for legal problems dealt with in the Quran and tended to regard questions not referred to in the Quran as having been left deliberately unregulated by God. Naturally, they were highly critical of both the traditionist methods and the results of their work. Although the traditionists claimed to accept or reject Hadith on the basis of the qualities of the transmitters, their method was in fact purely arbitrary according to their opponents. As a result of the inadequacy of the traditionist work, the corpus of Hadith is filled with contradictory, blasphemous, and absurd traditions. Okay? So, I just want to just, show you that in early Islam, early Islam, within the first 200 years of Islam, there wasn't this monolithic Islam that most people are kind of familiar with right now that accepts all these traditions, okay? The first two groups were like, some of this stuff we don't even, they were like that, okay? So when you want to, especially Christians and non-Muslims who want to paint Muslims in a certain light, okay, just remember, even to this day, not all Muslims believe what this particular group, such as Mohammad Hijab, actually believes. Hence, Mohammad Hijab was speaking to somebody of Ahl al-Kalam, okay, and was saying, if you accept the Quran only, this is not what Quran onlys actually believe, okay? I'm just putting out there, that's not what Quran onlys believe. It quite clearly says in the Quran, if you used to read the Quran alone, that is talking about women. It's only when you go into the Hadiths, which Quran only Muslims, okay, people Ahl al-Kalam, okay, the people of Kalam, i.e. of the words of Allah, the people who utilize logic and reasoning and philosophy, okay, they don't read that you could marry a minor. It's only the people of Ahl al-Hadith or Ashab al-Hadith, people of traditions, people of stories and Hadiths, yeah? Those are the people that now believe you can marry a 9-year-old and minors, okay? We're going to go into that real quickly. Let me just go into it now. All right, let's see. So we're reading. So we're going to continue. Okay. The better noire of both of these groups, representing the position that finally won the day, was the party of the traditionists. Okay, so now the traditionists win. Okay, and we're going to go into that. The Ashab al-Hadith, the traditionists were dedicated to the proposition that traditions from the Prophet represent the only viable basis for Sunnah. That Sunnah and authentic prophetic Hadiths are in fact coextensive. As hadith professionals, their livelihoods were bound up in the gathering and transmittal of received knowledge, and they naturally considered their own activity to be the authentic representation of the Prophet's legacy and authority. The attitude they represent is probably an early one, extending back to the earliest collectors and transmitters of hadith. Traditionist thesis was powerful, seeming to offer Muslims a concrete, easily definable, and irrefutable link with the Prophet through the medium of hadith. It was difficult, if not impossible, for a Muslim to deny the theoretical authority of truly authentic traditions. To do so would be to question the authority of the Prophet himself. In fact, neither the Ahl al-Ra'i nor the Ahl al-Kalam rejected the authority of the Prophet in theory. They did, however, question whether, as the tradition is held, hadith reports were the best representation of the authority. Okay? Just want to get that out there, okay? Real quickly. Let me come back to the family. The family. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's get it. Yeah, somebody wrote here that a lot of the Hanafi and the Maliki rulings agree with each other. Indeed, they did. They did, because they were of the Ahl al-Ra'i. And they had a particular methodology. Okay, they had a particular methodology. Let me see if I can actually pull up some of their methodology. Okay, so again, I just want to put it out there really quickly. For the Hanafis, Ahl al-Ra'i, okay, 18 or 19 is when a human being becomes a man or a woman. There's other tests of Rashud, or being intellectually capable, okay, which could come at a later age, okay? But 18 and 19, they should have developed that. But if they haven't, let me know. This is beyond my jurisdiction. I shouldn't even be discussing this. Let me know if we can go there. So 18 or 19 is when somebody is now considered to be an adult. So if you are a Maliki, if you are a Hanifi, hell, if you are a Quranist, al-Kalam, people of me, people of Kalam, okay, if you are like that, then according to fiqh jurisprudence, reading the Quran, you would never interpret and put it within inside of a legal framework where you can marry anybody that's below the age of 18. The Malikis, the Hanafis of the early times, especially Abu Hanifa, especially Anas ibn Malik, can't remember his name now, Anas ibn Malik, I believe it's Anas ibn Malik. No, marrying somebody who is under the age of 18 is completely false to them. People like Al-Jahiz, Ahl al-Kalam, the Mu'tazilites, that was never the case. It was only when these perversions started to come in. They started to come in. They first started with Shafi, because he was the first one to make hadiths equal to revelations. Okay? He was the first one. And then he was able to lower the age of an adult from the age of 18 to the age of 15. Can you imagine? Maybe this was political to get more youngsters, young boys, into the army, so they can fill up the armies and stuff. Like, maybe it could be that. It could be that. I shouldn't even postulate. Okay, he was the first one, based upon using hadiths, to lower the age to 15. Then you had in Ahmed ibn Hanbal's time, using certain hadiths from Hisham ibn Urwah in Kufi and those areas, they were able to lower the age even to marriage, even to the age of 9, by utilizing hadiths. But you know what? The schools within inside of the region, I hear the argument. You know what? I love the argument. Oh, but the Prophet married at the age of 9. The age of Aisha, at the age of 9 years old. And if anybody had a problem with that, they would have said it. Guess what? The people of Medina never accepted these hadiths, never understood that Aisha was 9 years of age. Hence the reason there was never like saying, hold on. We accept the 9-year-old. No, they said 18 or 19. Malik had something called the Amal of Medina, the practices of Medina. And the practices of Medina is you can marry at the age of 18 or 19. That was the practices of the time. It's only with the Hadiths that he rejected, by the way, is where these younger age come into play. Let me see. What books should I bring out? See. This is them big books here, Kitab al-Athar of Imam Abu Hanifa. You will never find anything about 9-year-olds in here, You never find that in here. You can go to the Muwatta of Malik. You will not find that issue in there, my friend. You will not find it at all. It's only when you go later down that you'll find such nonsense. Okay? Let me see if I can find something nice for you guys. Okay? Let me read this. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. So I'm reading from, what's this book I'm reading from? The Four Imams and Their Schools. Okay? The Four Imams and Their Schools by Jibril Fuad Haddad. Okay, it's quick read. The practices, and it's page 154, sorry, 154. The practice of Medina. Imam Malik is the connection of the community to the knowledge of the Sunnah, as it was preserved by the authorities of the prophets. Okay, actually, let me skip. No, actually, let me not skip. Okay, let me continue. All right. Like the rest of the four Imams, he advocated imitation of the companions, but he focused on those of Medina because he considered them the closest of all Muslims in accurately representing the practice of the Prophet. This reference point of Malik's jurisprudence is called the practice of Medina, Amal al-Medina, and is observed time and again in his phrase, "This is what I have found or seen the people of knowledge practicing." Al-Darwadi said, when Malik says, "This is what I have observed the people of our country agree upon, and this is what is agreed upon among us," he means principally Rabia ibn Abi Abdul Rahman and Abdullah ibn Yasid ibn Humuz. It is said that Malik took the bulk of the Muwatta from Rabia. Okay, Sheikh Hamza, Yusuf Hansen, has explained the concept of the practice of Medina thus. Let's get into it. This is what he explains. Medina is a city in which Islamic legal systems and the Islamic social order were fully implemented. For that reason, Malik is an inheritor of a social expression of the totality of the Islamic teachings. Thus, the Muwatta records that he would consider a city in submission. For that reason, he would say, if I find an isolated hadith, not mutawatir, with 1 or 2 chains from the Sahaba, and I find 1,000 of the people of knowledge from the Tabari'in in Medina doing something else, their actions override the solitary transmission of the hadith. I will continue. I.e., the fact that they are not following that hadith, and that they were people who lived in the presence of the Sahaba, and that practice would have been done in the presence of the Sahaba, among whom were men like Ibn Umar and Umar ibn al-Khattab and women like Aisha, and that these people knew better what the final Islamic decision was on the matter. Imam Malik, for that reason, would consider the actions of the people of Medina. But when he says that he really does not mean everybody, he means the people of knowledge in the city. The city was filled with the people of knowledge. Imam Malik felt that the actions was a hadith and only it had achieved the status of mutawatir because it is agreement in the city of Medina. Even if he did not have an actual verbal transmission of the matter, for example, let me not even continue. That was enough. That's enough. He is saying right there, listen, I don't even care what type of hadiths you come with. Yeah? This is Malik. Okay, the people of Rai, people who utilize sound reason and analogical reasoning and so forth. Yeah, says it doesn't matter what hadith. It could come from a Sahaba. It could be authentic in its chains. You can bring me 2 different chains. It could be authentic. If it doesn't coincide with the Quran, number 1 actually. If it doesn't coincide with what the people of knowledge accept and agree and are practicing, the living tradition is doing, guess what? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw that at the blood clot wall and disregard it. That's what he was on. That's what he was on. Yeah? Bad man. Bad man. So you got to realize, yeah, out of the two major schools of thoughts back in the day, the first early schools of thoughts, even Shafi'i didn't even accept the 9-year-olds here, but that's a story for another day. Fifth, bro, marrying minors was not something that they did. Okay? Marrying minors is not something what they did. Again, this comes in via the traditionalists. And we're going to discuss how it comes in via the traditionalists real quickly, since some of you guys need to know. Okay? Let's quickly go into that. Boom, 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 boom. Can somebody tip me a water, please? Can somebody tip me a water? I need a water, like. I need a water. Because anybody got a water for me? Because I need a water. You know what I mean? Okay. And let me actually... Ooh. Let me see. What do I have here? Yeah, look at this. Let's see. Let me see. I always have some good stuff, you know. Like, it's mad. I go into my like documents, and I always find that there's sick stuff in here. Like 2018, this stuff is. It's like, wow, Cal, you know you're a bad man for that, right? Okay, cool. And just so you know, yeah, because I've said it, but I haven't actually provided the evidence of what I've said. Let me just see. Yeah, you lot can read that. Cool. Yeah, you lot can definitely read that. Yeah, just so you know. Yeah. It says here. This is Ibn Qudayma, yeah? Said in Al-Mughni. If she has reached the age of 9 years, there are two opinions. Okay? This is to do with consummation of marriage, whether a marriage agreement could continue or not continue, okay? So Ibn Qudayma, you know, discusses this, you know, amongst the Imams or amongst the major schools of thought. This is the two opinions, okay? One of them is that she is like someone who has not attained the age of 9. Okay? This is the view of Malik, al-Shafi'i, Abu Hanifa, and the other scholars. They said the ruling is for a girl of 9 years is the ruling of a girl of 8 years because she is not an adult. Okay? So just so you know, yeah, the three schools of thoughts never considered a 9-year-old an adult. Never considered, yeah, like a 9-year-old can get married of her own consent willingly. It is impossible because she is not an adult. And because her permission is not considered in all other acts, so it is in the case of marriage. For the meaning of the verse and the ayat, meaning of the news in general, that the orphan to marry her permission must be given. And if something is not permissible and has been denied permission in the absence of it, it must be carried on. The 9th has narrated Imam. See, this is a translation. It's a bit messed up. Okay, Imam Ahmed, with an isnad from Aisha, may Allah be pleased with it, said, for 9 years she is a woman, and the judge narrated it was a hadith from Ibn Umar. Okay, what they were not in the case of men's. So anyways, so there is two different opinions here in the Islamic world. The earliest opinions is that from Malik, Al-Shafi, and Abu Hanifa, that a girl of 9 years of age cannot get married because she is not a woman. Okay? But the second school of thought, or the second opinion, according to this, is from Ahmed, who says that a girl can get married because Aisha said she is a woman. Although Aisha never said that a girl is a woman at the age of 9 years old. You will never find this hadith anywhere. Okay? You will never find it. But somehow Ahmed said it. Okay? So we just put it out there. Just so you guys can know that this doesn't actually exist. Okay? Let me quickly go through. Let me see. What else do we have here? Let me see. What else do we have here? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see, what's this? Okay. Let me go back. Okay, cool. Let me read some of your comments actually. That's more better. Let me read some of your comments. Again, Reanimator. I haven't said that Aisha was 18 years. If you're talking about Aisha, I haven't said that she was 18 years of age. I haven't made no mention of age. Let's see, girls that haven't not reached puberty, exactly when if you want to start puberty at 9. Okay, cool. All right. So let me continue. Where are we? Okay. So what happens is this, yeah? What happens is this. Yeah? Why we have this in Islam today is because of this. We have in Islam a madness. Okay? The madness is that there is hadiths, yeah, with inside of Bukhari, with inside of different places, yeah, of Musnad, of Ahmed, so forth, yeah, that Aisha said that she was married to the Prophet at the age of 9 years of age. This is where all of this controversy starts from. The major person that, you know, talks about this, I believe at least 14, if not 15 of these traditions, yeah, go back to Hisham ibn Urwah. Okay, that's where it really starts from. Okay, and what people don't understand is that the earlier schools of thought, the Ahl al-Ra'i, yeah, i.e. Abu Hanifa and Malik, yeah, never accepted these hadiths. Okay, what do you mean he never accepted these as hadiths? Okay, I'm going to read something to you right now. Yahya saw Malik ibn Anas in Al-Nawum. I asked him about Hisham ibn Urwah. He said, what he narrated in our presence, it is correct. And what he narrated after he came out of us is weak. I want you lot to just kind of understand that real quickly. The Medinian school of thought, the Medinian jurisprudence, okay, never accepted what Hisham ibn Urwah had to say, especially Malik. This is the reason why the Maliki school doesn't hold on to the idea that Aisha was 9 years of age, or that the Prophet married a minor. Because that information, number one, never received them during that time, and number two, they rejected what Hisham ibn Urwah had to say once he reached Iraq or Kufa. Because he's like, fam, amongst all of us here, this hadith is not circulating that Aisha was 9 years of age. But as soon as this man goes off into Iraq and Kufa, we're hearing this hadith that was never once uttered amongst us. Yaqub ibn Shayba says, he is highly reliable. His narratives are acceptable, except what he narrated after moving over to Iraq. If you look at the trains of transmission, all of his narrations on the age of Aisha comes from Iraq. The early scholars, let me be more precise, never accepted these hadiths. It was explained in his narration, he reported things loosely on authority of his father, which he had heard from other than his father. Again, you look at the narrations, it will say, Hisham ibn Urwah, from Aisha. Yeah, again, they're saying, family, you never even received that from him. Let's even see what happened with the congregation of the Quraysh. Let me just really continue so you can understand. If you're a Muslim and you've never heard this before, understand it. Then go off and question your imams and your sheikhs and all your ulama and your scholars. And say, you know what, I've heard this madman from Titanstv talking this thing, but he was showing me evidences like it's on the screen right now. It's actually in Arabic, but he's got it translated in English as well. Like, can you help me on this particular thing here? Because I don't know what to believe again. You know? It says here, let's quickly see it. Ali ibn al-Madani said, Yahya ibn Sa'id said, Hisham ibn Urwah said, I sat in a council with a congregation of Quraysh. I spoke with a hadith and some of them denied it. I said I heard it from my father. What they say? There is no proof of that. I said in an interview with the Iraqis about Hisham, he is heavily confused as they said in the talk about Ma'mar, is confused as well. Waham. These individuals, Ma'mar and Hisham ibn Urwah, are two confused individuals. Yeah? This is what's been said. Alright? Just real quickly, because I've broken down the age of Aisha and all of this stuff before, and I don't know if we got time for all of that nonsense anymore. Like, it's long. But you're still gonna have people like Christian Prince and David Wood and all these people here talking certain things, and they have the full right to talk these certain things because their whole job is to dismantle Islam and so forth. And I have no problem with that. That's your ministry. That's what you got to do. But there is ministry and trying to dismantle something, and then there is actually taking into consideration what the text actually says, what the scholars had to say, the difference of opinions had to say, and not just lump it all together. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy to make Muslims out to be Talibans and jihadis and terrorists and so forth. You could take a group and make the whole sound that way. But in reality, if you have Muslim friends, neighbors, people you've gone to school with, family members, you know that they're not terrorists. So, allow it. Like, all of Islam or the whole Muslim world do not believe in child marriages. But child marriages came into Islam due to the change within inside of history of how do you accept legal jurisprudence. And hadiths were taken into consideration. And based upon hadiths of Hisham ibn Urwah, because that's primarily where it comes from. Primarily, that's where it actually arises from. Hisham ibn Urwah with this. We can argue later on the different chains of narrations and where they come from as well. But primarily, this is where it comes from. And the earlier schools of thoughts completely rejected it. Abu Hanifa never heard of this before he died. Malik said, you know what? We reject it. The people of Kalam completely rejected it. It's only the people of Hadith, the traditionalists, those of the Muslim, those who won out, actually, they won out by the 9th, 10th century. They were winning. They were the majority, by the way. They accepted this Hadith. And then it came into their jurisprudence of how they actually think about the Quran and legislating and it being permissible and legal to marry underage. And then you'll find it within inside of tafsirs, because the tafsirs are there to are traditions that's being used to break down and understand the Quran. Are you with me? Yeah? Cool. But family tree. Yeah? We've gone into something, but I don't want to be talking, yeah? What I'm going to do is see if I can invite you guys in to actually have a conversation. Nick Thompson, you're spamming 65 verse 4. We went through it. If you wasn't here from before, like we've already gone through it. But I will talk to you in a hot second. Let me just open up a meeting. Meet now. Host a meeting. Boom. Copy that. Start a meeting. Cool. Now, let me go back to the YouTube. But where is the comment section? I don't even have access to the comment section. This is not the one. Let me just make sure. Okay, cool. All right, let me see if I can send it over to you guys because I've got it here. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can send it over to you guys. I've got it here. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can send it over to you guys. All right, there's a stream link. There's a stream link. There's a stream link. There's a stream link. There you go. Now I can see all my comments. There you go. All right, cool. There you go. Now I can see all my comments. There you go. All right, cool. Let me mute this. Okay, cool. So if you'd like to come in and have a conversation, come in and have a conversation with us, all right? So Nick Thompson says, you can't say it does not permit pedophilia. Okay, and I will break that down for you since you must not have been here from the very beginning, okay? So, just real quickly, so this should be for anybody. Everybody now should be more in tune and abreast with this information, so you lot can break it down for yourselves, all right? So right here, we're going to go into it, all right? This here is chapter 65, verse 4, okay? And we read it. Let me just actually do English translation, open link in new tab, boom. Okay, let's just quickly read out the pictile again, as we did before. Okay, and it says here, and for such of your women as despair of menstruation, if you doubt their period shall be 3 months, along with those who have it not. And for those with child, their period shall be till they bring forth their burden. All right, and then we highlighted, yeah, for those of you lot who are late comers, we highlighted the word nisa or nisakum, okay? And that's the word right here. I can't even do it. Okay, no, I know what I'll do. Here we go. We highlighted the word right here. That's it here. Nisa, nisakum, nisa. If you click on it itself, okay, it says here the 6th word, blah 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 blah. Okay, and it says here your women. Okay, the word here is women, and we discussed that this whole phrase or this whole conversation that's been had right there, okay, is talking about women. 3 categories of women. Okay, this should be something that every one of you guys now, yeah, because you lot have heard it, should know. That the subject matter is discussing women. 3 different types of women. The women that have despaired of menstruation, the women who are not menstruating, and the women who are pregnant. Okay? It has nothing to do with prepubescence. Because a woman is not menstruating does not mean she's prepubescent. It means she's not menstruating. Because the whole point is you have to wait 3 months or 3 period cycles, yeah, to make sure that a woman is not pregnant or is not with child. But there is reasons why a woman does not have menstruation. One of the reasons is here. She's pregnant. She is pregnant. Therefore, there is not going to be 3 months of menstrual cycles. Okay? There's another one who is despaired of menstruation, meaning they're going through menopause. They're despaired, meaning they're not hoping for menstruation again because they know that no menstruation is coming because they've reached that age where menopause is kicked in. Okay, that's a second group of women. The third group of women are those who are not menstruating. And there are reasons why women do not menstruate. It could be psychosomatic reasons, it could be medical reasons, and you can find out that once you're suckling or breastfeeding, you also do not menstruate. These are the 3 different groups of women that they're discussing. Then someone says, no, but a woman could also mean a girl. But no. And then we brought up with inside of the Arabic language, okay, Tabari breaks this down. You can actually go into the Lisan al-Arabi or any Arabic dictionary and it'll break this down for you, but Tabari breaks this down for us. Let's just quickly go to Tabari real quickly, okay, because sometimes when we follow these Christian polemicists and apologists, yeah, like they can warp your mind, you know. They could whoop your mind. No shade thrown on David Wood or shade thrown on Christian Prince, yeah. But they have a particular ministry, okay? They have a particular ministry, okay? And it's not for objectivity. It's towards slanting the Islamic narrative. And me personally, I don't care about slanting or throwing shade on the Islamic narrative, nor do I care about trying to make the Islamic narrative look nice and pristine. I don't care. I'm just completely objective. I'll tell you what it is. That's why you come to Titanstv, because you know when you come here, you're going to get educated. You're not going to catch this anywhere else. Nobody else is going to educate you and give you the source materials for you to go and research yourself and show you on the screen. Every claim that I make, I hope to present the information to you. Otherwise, I try not to speak on anything because it's just me talking. I'd rather show it to you so you can use it yourself and you can argue with this yourself. Okay, Tabari here talks about, again, when the usage of women has been used. Children are not called what? Children are not called women. Rather, they are called children or little girls. Nisa, women, in Arabic is the plural of imra'ah, women, and the Arabs do not refer to the female infant or child or prepubescent as woman, just as they do not say to the male prepubescent child man. Okay? End of. That particular verse, as in every single verse that's relating to marriage, talks about women. It says in Surah Al-Nisa, women, marry women. Or sorry, marry a good woman. It's talking woman, never child, never prepubescent child or prepubescent female. It's talking about women, quite clearly. Okay? There we go. Now, I hope that clarifies it. Jesu. But if you've got any questions, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Anyways, okay, we got somebody here on Skype. Give me a hot second, 1 second before you speak. Let me make sure I can get you up on the Skype. 1 second, stay there. Okay, guest. There you go. Boom. You should be showing. Could you say something?
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Isa, is that you?
No.
Jeez, who's this I'm hearing speak right now?
It's Rob MTT.
Oh, Rob MTT. Okay, talk to me, Gee. Talk to me.
Okay, so if we look at Ibn Abbas, I think it's Ibn Abbas. Was he the cousin of the Prophet?
Hold on. Let me just make sure that it's not actually echoing. Give me a hot second.
The cousin of the Prophet?
Let me just make sure. Okay, actually, family, let me know if it's that the subject matter. Yeah, hold on. Let me actually bring in. Sorry, 1 second before we talk, so I can actually see what the family is saying, just to make sure we are not actually. Give me a second. Add existing Titans YouTube chat. Let's go. And then let me bring this down a little piece. Cool. Yeah, continue.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to Tafsir Ibn Abbas, for Quran 65:4, if I'm not mistaken, he was the cousin of the Prophet.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay, so what he says is that this refers, because he directly asked Muhammad, what about girls that are too young? And they so you could, I mean, that's pretty clear as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's even clearer.
Go on, you're saying it's even clearer?
In Tafsir Jalalain.
Yep, I agree with you.
So I mean, Ibn Abbas was around at the time of the Prophet, so that would be the place to start, and then go to Jalalain Kalam.
Okay. Now, I would agree with you. You have this. This is what we're discussing about traditions or hadiths. Okay. We're talking about if you saw from the beginning, we discussed the 3 schools of thoughts that existed prior. Okay. Were you here when I discussed those?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about schools of thought. I'm talking about the cousin of the Prophet who was around at that time.
I know, but if you go back, then
you get it.
I hear you. I'm not gonna argue with you on that and tell you that it does not exist. It clearly does exist, right? But what I'm going to say to you is you'll have to go back to the methodology of those three previous schools: Ahlul Ray, the Ahlul Kalam. Let me just go to those two schools of thoughts. The Ahlul Kalam would reject the hadiths, full stop. Okay? The Ahlul Ray would say, hold on, we do not find these hadiths. Look, let me just show you. Let me just quickly show you this. Wait, my bro. Wait. I want to make sure that we understand this, right? Okay. This is from Malik, yeah? It says here, if I find an isolated hadith, yeah, not mutawatir, with one or two chains from the Sahaba. So this is your Ibn Abbas, for example. And I find 1,000 of the people of knowledge from the Tabarin in Medina doing something else. Their actions override the solitary transmission of that hadith, i.e., the fact that they are not following that hadith and that they were people who lived in the presence of the Sahaba. That practice would have been done in the presence of the Sahaba, among whom were men like Ibn Umar ibn Khattab, etc. So what I'm trying to say to you is, a lot of these hadiths, if you're not aware of, okay, a lot of these hadiths, okay, that you'll find in tafsirs and other places, okay, were by those people considered to not be authentic or not authoritative.
Correct.
Let me finish. Because I spoke about this previously. Like Bukhari, you had over 600,000 hadiths he sifted through, and on the 3,000 he put inside of his hadith collection. Why was that? The reason being was what? He found them to be fabrications, made up, weak. There was all different types of reasons why he said, we're not having this. So again, you'll find out. You'll find out.
That's why I'm going to the cousin rude boy.
I hear you. And now, if you do, see this is where it becomes complicated now. Okay, do you have the chain of narration?
Yeah, the tafsirs, because no way they're going to lie. No way they're going to lie about Ibn Abbas asking the Prophet that.
No.
You know, if they're lying about that, Kalam, if they're lying about that, they're lying about everything. You can scrap everything.
This is the point that the early.
You get it?
Yeah, exactly. This is the point that Ahlul al-Kalam was making. That there was a lot of blasphemous absurdities. Let me pull it up. I'm going to show you what we're discussing right now. They understood that in early Islam there was a lot of nonsense. Let's quickly do it. Because I've stated this already, but let me just quickly go through it. Cool. Right here. All right. As a result of the inadequacies of the traditionalist work, the corpus of hadith is filled with contradictory, blasphemous, and absurd traditions. Okay? This is what's going on. Okay? There is all of this nonsense that is made up. If you go into hadith science, the science of hadith, you'll find out they themselves, the Muslims themselves, the scholars themselves, the people who deal with ilm al-hadith will tell you that there was a lot of hadiths that are made up. A lot of hadiths that are fabricated. A lot of hadiths that are just weak or whatever. There's loads of problems with these hadiths. And they're even found within inside of the so-called Sahih collections. They acknowledge it themselves. So your point that you're raising is completely valid. I agree with you. You will find these traditions within inside of tafsirs, within inside of hadith books and so forth. And I would agree with you that if your point is that the Muslims or a certain group of Muslim world accept these hadiths and think this way, I would say to you, yes. But my point that I'm trying to raise first and foremost is that we have to take into consideration that there were other schools of thoughts in early Islam that never held these thoughts. And these thoughts were developed, or these precedents were developed later on. they were developed via what I discussed before, called the Ashab al-Hadith. Those people who take these hadiths into consideration. Those people who take even weak hadiths into consideration to make a legal ruling. Okay? And those are the traditionalists. But prior to prior to traditionalists, this never existed. Continue.
Let me ask you a question. Where do you think the tafsirs of Ibn Abbas come from?
The tafsirs of Ibn Abbas. You tell me.
Where do they come from?
You tell me.
No, because if you're saying they're wrong, then you're suggesting some type of conspiracies against Muhammad.
If I'm suggesting they're wrong, there is a conspiracy against Muhammad. I'm suggesting that a lot of these hadiths, according to Muslims, scholars, are fabrications.
Even Ibn Abbas is a fabrication.
No, you got to realize that. Okay, we have to understand. Okay, let me go through this. Okay, so you could understand it. Okay, let's just say there is a Muhammad. If there is or isn't, I'm not even saying there is a Muhammad or isn't a Muhammad, by the way. Let's just say there is a cousin of Muhammad, Ibn Abbas. I'm not saying there is or isn't a Ibn Abbas, by the way. I'm just saying there is. Then there is another person in the chain who heard it from Ibn Abbas. Then another person in the chain. So let me do this. So Zori heard it from Ibn Abbas. Zori, who passed this information on to Marma. Marma passed this information on to Abdul Rasak. Abdul Rasak passed this one on to Ahmed. Okay? Now, there is a nice long chain of 6 people in that chain. Okay? 6 people in that chain. Somebody along that chain could make up and say, yes, I heard it from this person who traces it all the way back to Ibn Abbas, who got it from the Prophet. This is something that was taking place within inside of early Islam. People were making up hadiths, number one, were inserting themselves into hadiths or saying they heard it from certain people when they really did not hear it from certain people. Does that make sense?
You know, just what, in that basis, you're going to have to scrap every single hadith because nothing would be reliable.
I would say to you that I almost agree with you. And I would say that the majority of the hadiths are definitely not reliable. And I would say in the academic world, they definitely don't think that a lot of these hadiths are reliable, full stop. Because you'll find out that they're made up for political reasons, they're made up for legal reasons, they're made up for family reasons to bolster up one family over another family. It was like there was so much hadiths made up for various different reasons, and it was the job of the hadith collectors, such as Bukhari and Muslim and so forth, to try to filter out these things. And then nowadays, modern Orientalists or academics are trying to filter out these even more so. And they've said that we can trace back some of these early hadiths. The rest of them, we can see how there was a development of hadiths, where it might be a short little phrase that we heard of the Prophet. Now it's a paragraph. Now it's a flipping full-length page to a few paragraphs. Like, you will see that there is a development in hadiths, yes. And I would say that most of it cannot be trusted, 100%. Most of it is not historically accurate, 100%.
But this is a question. This is a question that I asked to, Abbas at Speaker's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, look, if you've got hadiths with bare lies in them,
mm-hmm.
who can you trust? Who can you trust? Because that means there's bare liars making up hadiths, and he agreed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the question. But what they do, they put their trust in the Sahih collection. Okay, So again, I'm being,
who's telling the truth and who's not?
Again, I'm being completely objective, yeah, because I'm not trying to say Islam, or say bad about Islam. Okay, I'm simply saying that Muslims, they put their trust in the Sahih collection. Generally speaking, Muslims would say anything in Bukhari, anything in Muslim, we agree upon. We agree. Until it gets to like somebody finds somebody.
Kalam, some of them. I've talked to some Muslims. They don't even agree with Bukhari and Muslim.
There you go. That's how deep it gets. About to say that when they get caught out, yeah, like to the outside world, they will say yes, the most authentic book after the Quran is Sahih Bukhari. But then, for example, when a Shia comes now and says, you know what, let me tell you about Umar, let me tell you about Abu Bakr, and you can find this within inside of this text, and this text within inside of the Sahih collection, they're going to start saying, well, I don't know if it's Sahih or not again, you know. I don't know about that. Yeah. So,
and they start saying, oh, Bukhari was a Persian. Bukhari was a Persian.
There you go.
You know.
So there's all these different things, but again, I'm not even trying to go there. I'm not even trying to speak bad about.
Anyway, my man, good to see you back. And it was just I was just wanting to comment on that. Yeah.
Okay, but I want to know because since people are having troubles in understanding Surah 65 verse 4, is there anything there that I explained that you didn't quite grasp?
No, just please. I don't know if you did it because I haven't been watching the whole stream. But read the tafsir of Ibn Abbas and Jalalain, Kalam, if you haven't already.
No, I have. I definitely would agree. Again, this is why
because they both mention girls.
This is why I laid out the parameters, right, of what the early schools of thought themselves, how they interpreted or read these verses and would have understood these verses, versus the later schools of thoughts. Okay, and I'm saying, if you're being completely objective and you read that verse without having your foreknowledge of what you believe Islam to be today, or what you think the Prophet did, you would read that verse and it says, it's talking specifically, the subject matter is about women. Women, not prepubescent women, not prepubescent girls. It's talking specifically about women. Did I get that point across to you?
But the tafsir Ibn Abbas has girls.
Wait. This is the thing now. I'm not talking about tafsir. We're not going outside of the Quran. I'm saying quite specifically what it says. We're talking about the literature, the grammar, the context and understanding. Do you understand that it's talking about women if you were to just read the Quran by itself?
Yeah, if you just read the Quran, but you see that throughout many surah. But the problem is, once you start going to the seerah, the tafsirs, then you see the word girl.
There you go. And there we go. You see, so we understand there is a change that took place, and it's a historical change. And we could find.
All right, Kalam, that's all. Yeah,
cool.
Peace out.
Peace.
I'll see your speakers. Hopefully, yeah.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. One of these days, I might pass through.
We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Cheers.
All right. So family tree. I want to make sure that we're all clear, okay? Because there is a point within inside of history where things begin to change, okay? There is what the literature itself states, women. Then there is a point within inside of history where a woman now becomes a girl. And we showed it earlier on. We showed, according to Ibn Qudayma, there were two opinions. The four major schools of thoughts, right? Out of them, three. What's his name? Abu Hanifa said a 9-year-old is a girl. She's equal to an 8-year-old. You are a girl. You are not an adult. An adult is somebody who is 18 or 19 years of age. Malik said the same thing. You're a girl. You're not a woman. You're not an adult until you're 18 or 19. Shafi'i says a 9-year-old is still a girl. But this is where the change comes in. He says you're not an adult until you're 15. And you'll have to see that there is a development within inside of Islam, the history of jurisprudence, how they started to understand the text and how they made legal judgments. They now started to take into consideration hadiths, even if though they found them weak, because it could have possibly gone back to the Prophet. And then by the time of Ahmed ibn Hanbal, sugar. It jumped from 19 or 18 to 19 to now you're at 9 years old. You are now a woman, and now you can get married, and now you have the right to consummate a marriage or not consummate a marriage. Are you with me? There is a development. And then you can bring up these things at Ibn Kathir and Jalalain, because they're now using what we're talking about, traditions, hadiths, that the previous schools never relied upon because it wasn't part, they found these things weak, or it wasn't part of the norm of their society, and they rejected them. But because time has elapsed and there is another way of actually looking at things, furthermore, let me see if I can bring that up actually. Let me see if I can bring that up. I'm sure I can. Let's see. I've always got some good stuff hanging around. You know me. You know me. Oh yeah, family tree. If you haven't already hit the like button, god damn, what we here for? What we here for if you haven't hit the like button? And if you haven't already subscribed, what we here for still even more? Like you really don't know this is the home of intellectual discourses. God damn. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? I wonder. I don't even know. 654, let's see. Property, let's see. I was going to show you guys the different school of thoughts, but I don't know where to find it again. I don't know where to find it. I don't even know. It could be here actually. It could be here. Could be here. Let me see. No, don't think it's here. What we do have here is just that Abu Hanifa personally fixed the age of puberty at 18 years, and according to another view, it is 19 years, and the male 17 years for the female. The oft quoted of the Malachites accords with the position of Imam Abu Hanifa that is the age of puberty is 18 years, but some Malachites fix it at 19 years of age. Okay, the two most earliest schools of thoughts fix the age of manhood, or it says puberty here, but it's really to do with actually becoming an adult, is 18, 19. Okay, just to put out there. Okay, but when you actually go into how these things actually come about, it is a madness. It is an absolute madness. Again, if you guys would like to join us, yeah, join in, please. Join in. If you want to challenge anything that's been stated so far, please join in. There is the link right there. Let's get it. Actually, let me read your comments. I haven't been reading the comments. Let me go into the comments quickly. Okay. Let me make it a pop-out chat so I can read them easier. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. I'm not my speaking. Okay. Come on, family tree. Let me hear what you guys got to say. What's good? Banksy! Come true, man. Come true. Spend some time with us. Just waiting for you guys to come in, you know. Come true. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-dum-dum-dum. I might even drop some heat in a little while. Oh, it's there all the time. It's actually there. See what I was actually looking for the other day? It's actually here. Let me go into it. Where are we? Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Here we go. No, that's not it. Oh, it's the Aisha diagram. Where's the Aisha diagram? There it is. There we go. Should have it. Cool. Yeah. See? Oh, yeah. So over here, geez, somebody else has joined before you talk. So over here we have the different so the the Hanafi school, the Ahl al-Ray. This is how god damn. Who's this? Yo, talk to me.
Oh,
what's good?
Big up, Kalam. How are you, mate?
Jeez, I'm good, my brother. Give me a hot second. Let me make sure that you're in and you're being shown. Actually, no, wait there. Stay for a hot second. Let me just quickly talk. So over here, like, again, this is different madhabs, yeah? And this is how they were able to actually use, like, how they came up with the source of law. They used the Quran, the Sunnah, the Ijma of the Sahaba, and so forth, Qiyas, and so forth. I remember Sheikh Hassan was telling me, well, you didn't go through all these things. Like, it's on the screen right now, so people, you lot can just kind of read through it for your own sake. Again, Imam Malik, again, this is the way he done this, the practices of the people, practices of the people, the practice of the people said that a woman was a woman at 18 to 19 years of age, and that's the age that they can actually get married. And that goes completely against certain hadiths, right? Alright, so this is their thing. But now, when you get down to Ahmed ibn Hanbal, the Hanbali school of thought, this is where the problems come in. So you're seeing it. Look at this one here, weak hadiths, That man, they will take weak hadiths into consideration. Yeah? I'm just saying, innit? This is how it begins. When they start taking these hadiths over the actual sunnah, over the actual practices of the people, over the actual reasoning, yeah? Deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is thrown out the window, yeah? Look, Qiyas is not even there again, or it is there, oh God. As a last result, that is when no other major principle could be directly applied. Ahmed would reluctantly apply the principle of Qiyas and deduce a solution based on one or more of the previous principles. Can you imagine? They would forsake all forms of reasoning that a child is a child at the age of 9 years old because they've got a hadith that says that Aisha married the Prophet at 9. So therefore she must have been a woman. All sense of reasoning is gone. Even if that hadith is weak, remember, even though the hadith is naive, they will lose all sense of reasoning and say, nope, we must go with it because it may have come from the Prophet himself. Yet all the earlier schools never held on to this belief or this principle or this form of actions. But anyways, it's none of my business, but I've got to highlight it for you because you guys don't know this type of stuff. All right, let me quickly go into the OBS and let's get up the Skype. There you go. My brother, hold on. Let me make sure that you are being shown to the world. Boom.
Well,
Bang, say.
Hey, how are you, Kalam? How's it going, man? Big up. It's been a long time, my brother. I have missed the Kalam
input into the antics of Speaker's Corner.
There you go. Hold tight. Wait, I need you to talk. Just take over for a hot second. I need to get.
No worries.
Yes,
actually, I had. I hope you can at least still hear me. I had some thoughts about what you said, and now don't get me wrong. You make a compelling argument. There's no doubt that your evidence and your arguments are incredibly compelling. The problem is that there are certain corners which Muslims have painted themselves into, which is oh my God, I can't remember. I can't say the word.
Irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable. Exactly. Thank you. Irreconcilable with their beliefs. One being that Allah dictated the Quran to, or at least passed it to Gabriel, and then Gabriel passed it verbatim to Muhammad, and that mute YouTube. Oh, someone says mute YouTube. I don't know what's going on. Is it still coming? Am I getting an echo? My YouTube is mute. Can anyone hear me? Okay.
I can hear you clearly.
Is this Ultra?
Yeah, the one and only, baby.
Oh man, this is a hell of a night. The problem is I can't even stay very long. I have to go. I got my own thing.
Tonight, I've got to leave Lewisham in about 7 minutes. I got to leave.
Oh man, I missed the ADL, man. The Atheist Defense League. It's been a long time.
No, we're elsewhere. But no, listen, I agree with your point. Yeah, that's why I jumped on, because the information Kalam is giving, I'm struggling to wrap my head around it, because I've been told, since I've been on the Speaker's Corner scene, all I've been told is the Prophet married the chick when she was 6 and sexed her when she was 9. And if you say anything against that, you're an Islamophobe. That's all I've heard for the last 4 years or whatever it is.
It's not even that is I'm not even debating or arguing that, because Kalam puts that.
Remember, the information Kalam gave us, he's basically saying, like, that's not what the Prophet was into. Other brothers made it up because it was their tradition and they wished to continue sexing kids, and to make it look good, they just dashed it on the Prophet.
Well, this is the thing. This is the contention. My contention isn't I'm not even contesting the Hadiths yet, and Kalam's claims of the Hadith potentially being corrupted or manipulated. I'm contesting the Surah 65 verse 4, which many Muslims, they themselves, and as we know, Mohammad Hijab very boldly with his chest claimed that this would actually allow you potentially to marry 5-year-olds. Now,
see, this is the thing. This is the thing. I actually understand what you're saying, but if you listen to what Kalam was saying, Kalam was basically saying, right, that's not actually what it says, and every single Muslim that is saying this is actually misguided and wrong.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that although Kalam's making a very compelling argument that this was not the mindset of the early Muslims, that they didn't read that verse thinking children, they read that verse thinking women, and to them women were of a particular age and particular sort of maturity. What I'm contending with is that the Muslims have claimed or make claims that the Quran is the verbatim word of Allah, and it is protected by Allah from corruption and misunderstanding. And if that is the case, then this verse and Kalam's interpretation is erring. You know, they can't reconcile this. You have to reconcile. You have to recognize this.
It's a good point. Oh my God.
So No, but the thing is, I mean, I know Kalam, he says that, come on, man, we all know that these books were never written by God or, dictated by God. So his get out clause is that God didn't have anything to do with this. Allah didn't have anything to do with this. But that's not the Islamic tradition, and that's not the Islamic position. The Islamic position is Allah dictated this book, Allah protects this book, and Allah should have known that this would be misinterpreted and would have prevented or have put steps to prevent such misunderstandings, which Allah clearly didn't.
Oh boy. I'm going on mute. Oh boy.
So that's my contention with this. Is not that this may be work of if this was the Christians say this was inspired by God, and so they give themselves a leeway for potential human interference. Muslims don't, and they have to then now reconcile this. They have to square this circle. How do they reconcile the fact that this is the book of Allah, protected by Allah for all time, and yet at the same time man has interfered with it? This goes to the core theology of Islam. It's not to do with it. It's not, I'm an atheist, I can take whatever Kalam says and say, yeah, fine, people fucked with it, but I don't have to worship this God. I don't have to contend with these issues. Muslims and the Muslim world has to contend with this. So how does a Muslim reconcile this from their paradigm? Kalam? Anything on that?
I don't. You mate, this is where we need to get some Muslims on the panel.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. This is where we get the Muslims on.
But the thing is, Kalam, you can see and you can clearly understand why someone like Mohammad Hijab would have, coming from his paradigm, would have an understanding of that verse to say that you could effectively have sex with a 5-year-old because it has no prohibition to people before the age of puberty. Because from their paradigm, it's perfectly reasonable.
Of course, because you got to realize their paradigm. Their paradigm is they are people of Hadith or people of the traditions. So they've grown up understanding that Muhammad had sex with Aisha at the age of 9 years of age. So therefore, we're going to interpret this verse, although it goes against what the grammar says, i.e. the grammar clearly says that we're talking about women. But because I'm Mohammad Hijab and I'm brought up in a Sunni, somewhat Salafi-ish looking, Wahhabi-ish-esque, what's it called? Egyptian Brotherhood, what's it called? The Muslim Brotherhood. He's growing up in that type of, I don't know, milieu. Then of course, reading these verses, you're going to interpret it as such. Because what he does is something quite striking that most Muslims aren't even aware of. Okay? And the wickedest thing is, atheists and people who are against Islam say this, but they're villainized and called Islamophobic. By saying, if we watch that video again,
the evidence you've given me is that you're making me look at this thing a whole different way, right? But you have to understand, Muslims are telling me as an atheist, this is how my thing's set. The man married at 6 and he dealt with it at 9. That's what they're telling me. And when I'm telling them that's fuckery, they're telling me, boy, you're an AR, But from listening to you, I've got a whole different perspective now because you're telling me that the thing not up. And this crept in later. Now, Kalam, let me ask you one quick question. Hadith, all of these hadiths about Aisha's age, were they written at the time of the Prophet?
No.
Oh, so wait, were they written after he was dead and gone?
No, it's 200 years, I think.
So wait a minute, hold on a second. Hold on.
This is 200 years. Sorry, Ultra, let me just...
Wait, Banksy, hold on. This is what I mean. Right. So, 200 years after the man dead and gone, some next brothers are dashing child marriage on him to make it look like, because he did it, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, so that they could do it.
Yeah, it's not just that. Think of it this way.
So that means every Muslim that's telling me, shut your mouth, you're an Islamophobe if you don't like the fact that my prophet married a 6-year-old, they're wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is, think of it this way. As far as the validity...
I need to go back on mute. I can't deal with all this. You're hurting my head.
Sorry.
Hold on. Let me wait, Banksy. Before you go in, I just wanted to finish my point earlier on. So you see, Mohammad Hijab is talking about he made something so profound here that most people didn't even catch. To say that the point he was making is without the hadiths, okay, you would get the impression, even though without the hadith you wouldn't get that impression, but because of his paradigm, you get the impression you could marry somebody who is prepubescent. In fact, you can marry somebody who is prepubescent, i.e. somebody who hasn't had their menstrual cycle yet, somebody who is not even considered a woman yet in the society. And this is an argument that most people don't even understand yet. Because Aisha, if you go into the hadiths, is 9 years old. We've acknowledged that, right? If you go into the hadiths, she's 9 years old when she consummated the marriage, right? But Muslims would say, no, she has reached the age of puberty. She has reached the age of adulthood at 9 years old, because the girls back then, they matured faster because of the climate, etc., 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 etc. They'll give you that argument. But Mohammad Hijab will tell you, no, the Quran does not even say that. It says that you could even marry a prepubescent. That was his point. And the reason why he's even making such a point is because Aisha, if you go into the hadith of Bukhari, and you'll see, I can't remember the author's name now, there's somebody who gives a little exegesis on it. Says that Aisha hadn't even reached the age of puberty. Why? Because she was playing with dolls. And you could only play with dolls or things that have images if you hadn't reached the age of puberty, i.e. you're still a minor. So there's little nuances here that certain people, you won't even catch what he's even saying. And that's the nasty. Actually, no, let me not even say it's nasty, and each to their own, to make their own decision whether it's nasty or not. Because now I'm going to be an Islamophobic. Now I'm going to be Islam hater and so forth. Listen. Anyways.
Look. One thing I agree with you in the sense that potentially, as from my perspective and my worldview, I can agree and I can fully understand this concept of corruption or misinterpretation or misunderstanding. And this is something I want to say to Ultra. 200 years after Muhammad died, the Hadith started to become compiled. Think of it this way. In the 20th century, in just the last century that we just came out of, a mere 70 years ago, an event called the Second World War and the Holocaust happened. Only within 70 years, we have people denying such an event took place, even though we have photographs and videos of this event. And yet there are people out in the world who deny this event happened. Now go back to the 7th century, and then 200 years after an individual dies, people start collating stories about that person, and you wonder why they're not accurate. We have videos of the Holocaust and people are denying it. At that time, people just had hearsay. It was just Chinese whispers, and you wonder why Bukhari is unreliable. You wouldn't be able to submit a hadith in a court of law as evidence. It is such weak hearsay. Even the most sahih ones are hearsay. They're just stories that people told. No one can really truly identify their validity, not in any real way. It's just like, okay, we have 5 people who said the same thing. We're going to take it as, yeah, it's pretty much true. So that's how they curate these things. So 200 years after a person died, they're writing stories about him, and people are now taking those stories. By the way, Kalam, this is something, I don't know if you addressed this, but you know that they consider some hadiths to be as divine as the pages of the Quran, right? They don't see the hadiths as just, tall tales and stories that were told. They consider them divine in some aspects. And that puts them on a whole other level than just simply stories that people told. People believe the hadiths like they do the pages of the Quran. And so for me, that is, again, you break it down and you sort of lay it out and say this madhab and that madhab, they don't all agree, and these people have. But from a Muslim world, in the Muslim paradigm, it's impossible for them to reconcile some of this. They can't go against something they find holy. They can't go against something that they've already said that is the very word of God and is protected by God. They can't just simply lay down. For me and you, we can say, yeah, they clearly misunderstand these. But from a Muslim perspective, they back themselves into a corner. Theologically, they have really put themselves in a place of very little maneuvering. And I don't know if you talk to Mohammad Hijab about this and tell him they didn't mean girls, they meant women, and the concept of women to them was X, Y, Z. You put your argument to him, and I can assure you he will flat out reject it. I don't know how, but he will figure out a way through some long-winded polemics to somehow worm his way out of actually agreeing with your concept. Because they can't. I don't think they can. I think it will severely break their entire bubble, their entire worldview that they have towards Islam. It will, because this is, to me, you're addressing something that is the very foundational stuff in their belief. You pull this rug from under their feet, their whole house will fall down. This house of cards that they've built is built on that foundation, and I don't think they're willing to let go of that, even at the point of death. Sorry, go on.
See, I've got to be unbiased. I can't even participate in what you're participating in, my guy. But I hear you. And whoever doesn't want to listen to reasoning, that's down to them. But you know what, yeah? I wanted to, since I don't have enough time to actually find, you said something, and I wanted to go in on and just bring something, but I can't even, because I can't find it right now. But when I find it, Banksy, there's a little show I want to do on something that you stated. There's a little show for that one. That one's coming soon. That one's in the woodworks.
The thing is, when you put out your argument, and I started looking at madhabs, and I started because I've been looking at this shit for 2 days since you made me do this. You're making me go back to bloody school on this crap. I'm not even interested in this crap. I want to watch some movies and some porn, and you're taking away my porn time, and I'm looking at madhabs and the spread of different madhabs across the frigging world. I'm like, what am I doing? What is this? It's 12:30 at night and I'm watching this crap. Anyway, so you've made me do shit that I don't want to do. I want to let you know about that. but these madhabs and the way that they are operating, or the way they kind of broke down. Now, there is a category called other. I don't know what that other category of madhabs are exactly. Are they something that they made up? Are they these like very unusual sort of schools, fringe schools? I don't know.
Yeah, there's plenty of madhabs. A lot. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, but what I'm surprised about is the Hanafi. Is it the Hanafi that's the all West Africa, North Africa? I think that was.
I believe so. I think it was it the Maliki or the Hanafi for West Africa?
Yeah. All of North Africa, West Africa, pretty much a massive chunk of Africa. Yeah. It's the Maliki. Yes, the Malikis. Now, the funny thing is, the Hanbali, the Hanafis are sort of very much east of Iran, sort of Russia. From what it looks like, is very much China. Russia. Maybe China, yeah, and all that area, Chechens, those guys. The Hanbali are really just Saudi Arabia and the Emirates. That's the majority of the Hanbali. How is it? I mean, I know how it is. It's the money that's causing these guys' narrative to be so dominant, because they're not dominant in numbers. They're just dominant in their finances and financing of the narrative. Because the African Malikis are bigger in their land mass, or at least the sort of area that they cover. They're far more popular. So, but their narrative isn't really expressed. I mean, you mentioned Abu Layth.
Yep.
He's influenced by the Maliki madhabs.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know what the Shafis. I mean, it looks like they're mostly like Somalis or Shafis, Southeast Asians. I mean, it looks like Indonesia, Malaysia, that area. But again, Like the thing is, when I listen to Somalis, though, they sound as Salafi as the Saudis do.
Yeah,
How is it that
they
they're
are
following
now.
this Shafi?
Because they're over here in England. They're over here in England and they're going to Salafi mosques. It's that simple. Most of the mosques that are being built, new mosques that are being built, are Salafi mosques. That's what's going on.
And their kids are being raised effectively Salafi, even though the parents may have been Shafis when they sort of came over. So really, this is just a whitewashing, or well, Salafi washing of Islam.
There you go. There you go. Because you know what? Like going to Speaker's Corner. Actually, no. Let me go back before even Speaker's Corner. Let me go back. Growing up, I was exposed to Islam. And I never had one bad word to say about Islam. Not one. I thought it was a beautiful religion. I went to Speaker's Corner and I was like, huh? What is this? I've never experienced this before. I never experienced it before. And I was like, sheesh. To me, this looked like the most demonic, evil, perverted thing I've seen in my life. The way that the people conducted themselves and the type of talks that they were talking. So my point is this. It's all to do with what you've actually been exposed to. Because a lot of what Christian Prince and David Wood and other people are talking about, they're talking about a certain group of Islam. And it's not the largest group of Islam. It just seems to be the most loudest group of Islam that has the limelight right now. And you would think all Muslims
social justice
are like
warriors on Twitter.
It's like
social justice warriors on Twitter.
There you go.
Tiny minority, extremely loud.
There you go. Because when you start, chilling with some Sufi man, you start chilling with the Shias, you start chilling with all different types of people. It's like two different religions. It's two different things completely. But yeah, so I just wanted to, me personally, I just wanted to show everybody else that it's not this, it's not this myopic view that we have of Islam. There is actually a whole vastness of differing views and opinions and schools out there that would have never accepted such things as child brides and child marriages. And this is a later invention that came about via the whole Hadith era. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad.
Thank you,
Callum. You have been awesome as always. I have to go, I'm afraid, sir. Thank you, and I will continue my research. And I hate you because you make me listen to this stuff, and I have to go research this shit now.
Hey,
you're making me think, man. You're making me think, and it hurts.
Hey, I love it. We're here for it.
Big up,
Big up. Family tree. Listen. Oh, sugar. Let me actually fix this back up because I changed it. No, not my logo. I think it should be about 800. Give me a sec, everybody. Comments. There we go. The comments is back. Looking good. All right, cool. So, family. I don't really want to be on here much longer. Like, I need my water. I'm sure we've done like at least 2 hours on here. Again, apologies for the sound. The sound. It seems as though we're having issues with the sound. I don't know why that is. Testing. Yeah, see, this is not even on for some reason. Hello. Who's there?
Okay. So,
let me put you on. Give me a second.
About the claim regarding Hisham bin Urwah.
Go ahead.
Here's an article from Yaqeen Institute and titled "The Age of Aisha Rejecting Historical Revisionism and Modernist Assumptions." And there, the claim. regarding the unreliability of the said narrator. Hisham is the narrator mentioned in the Hadith, placing her at side. Some argue that Hisham was the only one to narrate this, weakening the strength of the Hadith, since it was, if this was common knowledge, then many more narrators mentioned the age of Aisha. However, this is a fallacy, since there are many other narrators who narrate this, such as Al-Aswad ibn Yazid, Salama ibn Abdurrahman, and others. The second claim against Hisham, who spent most of his lifetime in Medina before moving to Iraq, was that his memory weakened and that he began to mix up narrations while in Abul Hasan mentions. Some as evidence to discuss in Bukhari and Muslim, giving more legitimacy to other evidences. However, Imam al-Zahabi recently saying authority. There is nothing to claim that nothing to the claim that he was a preserver of Hadith. It is possible that his memory changed as he aged, that his mental sharpness decreased. Of course, he is not in his elder age. And no one is infallible. However, this change is not considered.
Can I just stop you real quickly? Can I stop you real quickly? Apologies to just cut your wisdom. Your mic, you're cutting in and out is very choppy for me. It's very, very choppy. But I've heard what you're saying. I don't know if you could just kind of fix up or come back in again, and then I can address them real quickly before we close out. But you're very muffled. I don't know if you need to just fix your network or come closer to the phone. I'm not too sure what's going on.
Does this work?
Yeah.
Okay. So the major claims here are that one of them, Hisham bin Urwah, is not the only source that narrated this. There have been other narrators, such as Aswad bin Yazid.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me stop you. I've heard that. So let's go on one by one. So you are basically saying that according to the Yaqeen Institute, that people are saying that are criticizing Hisham, but Hisham wasn't the only person in the chain to narrate this. So therefore, there are other Sahabas that narrated it. Therefore, it should be considered something as Sahih. Is that the point you're trying to make?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, perfect. All right. You know what? I've done a show on this before, but because I don't think you've seen that show before, are you a new subscriber?
I haven't subscribed.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to actually share my screen for a hot second. Give me a second, and we'll go through this real quickly. Testing. Yay. All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Browser share. Here we go. Cool. All right, family tree. Let's quickly go into that. All right. So what the good brother is saying is that there are, we always criticize, I say we, there is a few of us that have criticized, spoken up about this particular hadith, 9 years old, I should be 9 years old, and so forth, that this hadith cannot be trusted, and so forth. It's coming from weak sources. I've done a whole 3 hour video on this, several 2 hour, 3 hour videos on this. I really do need to condense it into small chunks and give everybody a good understanding of how this actually came about in the first place. But over here right now, we're going to see there is a diagram that I've got here. Okay. I hope the good brother can actually see it. There is a diagram. Can I make this bigger though? Can everybody see this? Let me just see. Can you not see? Yeah, you can see. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So basically, in this diagram, yeah, it shows you the different chains of narrations. We was discussing chains of narrations before. There is something called the science of hadith, or the ilm al-hadith, and there's something called ilm al-rijal, which is the science of like men and finding out if they're trustworthy, if they're weak, all these different types of things. It's a whole science of hadith. We don't actually have time to go through it in great detail, but over here, I kind of break this down already. I break this down to show you that 14 out of these, there's 19 of these hadiths, okay? 19 of these hadiths. And out of 14, sorry, out of 19, 14 of them trace back to Hisham ibn Urwah, okay? All right, 14 trace back to Hisham ibn Urwah. Now, the bottom line is, Hisham is known to be Ursal, mean he narrates his traditions loosely. He says he's from Aisha, you know, he says he's heard it from his father, but he may have not heard it from his father. They're rare, they're muddled, you know, other people have said that he has loss of memory, etc. Now, the good brother who's just come on now, I don't actually, what's the brother's name? Just hold on one second. Brother, what's your name? Hello? Are you still here?
I don't want to reveal my actual name. I prefer to go by this name. Yahya.
Okay, Yahya. Okay, so the good brother Yahya has come on to say, you know what, the Yaqeen Institute has already gone through this. You know, it says regardless of, you know, Hisham ibn Urwah, even though 14 of them trace back to him, there is, you know, other chains of narrations. And I think there is roughly, if my maths is correct, and if I have done this diagram in good justice, there is 5 of them that trace back elsewhere. Okay, so the brother made mention of the names, actually. The brother made mention of the names. And good brother, could you say one of the first names that you went back to?
Al-Aswad ibn Yazid.
Okay, Al-Aswad ibn Yazid. I don't know if you could see my thing over here. We go back here to Aswad ibn Yazid. Next one goes to who?
Abi Salama ibn Abdul Rahman.
Abdul Salma ibn Abdul Rahman. I believe this is this one here. Yahya ibn Abdul Rahman. It could be this one here. Go ahead. Who else?
It says and others.
And others, yeah?
It
doesn't give. Does it say Abu Ubaidah?
No, it does not specify the names of others.
Okay, so it just gives 2 names of other people, right? Okay, now that's according to the Yaqeen Institute. Again, I'm just going to quickly go through it. Okay, so over here, we see here that Al-Aswad, he goes it on to Al-Nakhai, and Al-Nakhai gives it on to Amash. Okay, that's the first person. There's 2 traditions that actually gets traced back to Al-Amash, I've got here. And we'll find out, okay, that Amash is known as a Mudalis. Okay, do you know what a Mudalis is?
No, I do not get the term.
It means he practices tadlis. Okay, I'm going to quickly, hopefully, let's quickly put this up. Tadlis, meaning, okay. Okay, to conceal defects, okay.
Okay.
And in the science of hadith, see, I want to make it as quick as possible because I'll now have to pull up like hadith books so you can fully understand. But if you go into, I'm going to give you a reference book actually. Let me quickly get it up. Home, recent, let's see, textbook of hadith studies. There you go. Textbook of hadith studies. One second. This is for your own. Where are we? Okay, come on, open. Is it going to open? Okay, here you go. So this is a good book. I would love for you to, you can download it actually. It's called the Textbook of Hadith Studies. You can download it from kalamallah.com. Okay, kalamallah.com. It gives a nice, they have loads of books on there that you can download for free. And it's a hadith, textbook of Hadith Studies, Authenticity, Compilation, Classification, and Criticism of Hadith by Mohammad Hijab Kamali. And in there, it will break down the different classifications of hadiths and the science of hadith and Rijala hadith, i.e. breaking down how we know hadiths are to be authentic, if they're weak, if they're mursal, all these other things here, okay? If do you know a little bit of science of hadith?
Not too much.
Not too much, okay. But yeah, see, I don't have the time. So I apologize. I don't actually have the time to break it all down. But if you do have, you know, the ability, you could just go on to kalamallah.com and you can download this this particular book, and it will break down the science of hadith for you, okay? And it even tells you in there that this particular person called Amish is known to practice tadlis, especially if he says it's coming from Nakhai, okay? But unfortunately, we don't have the time to just go through that. Maybe another time we can go through it and you can, you know, you can see it, okay? Let me see if I can though. Let me just quickly Control F. Let's see if I can do tadlis and if it comes up. TADLIS. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, boom. Okay, so tadlis, yeah? Tadlis literally means concealment, especially in reference to a fault or that a merchant does not reveal in order to sell his goods. So that's what tadlis is, okay? It really breaks down and it will show you in there different people who practice tadlis and why it cannot be trusted, okay? These hadiths from these different people cannot be trusted. And hopefully, let's see if it even comes up straight away. Let's see. Because it might do. We're just doing this. I don't have, yeah. Let's see. 1 second. I really would like to get it for you. Let's see, Nakhai. No, I can't actually go through it. Anyways, so in there, it will show you that he actually practiced something called tadlis, yeah? I would love to show it to you, but obviously I can't show it to you right now. But he is known to do tadlis, okay? So if you want to speak to any of your scholars and ask that question, please do, yeah? Just to confirm, come back onto the channel, see if that is true or if that's false. All right, so that's one of the people that you said, Al-Aswad, okay? The chain that goes back to Aisha from Al-Aswad is linked to somebody called Al-Amish, and he is known to practice tadlis. There's another person you said was Al-Rahman, right?
Ibn Abdul Rahman.
Yeah, Ibn Abdul Rahman, okay? And this particular chain is a weakened chain. Why is it a weakened chain? Can you see the diagram right here? I don't know if you can see the diagram. Can you see it? So Yahya ibn Abdul Rahman, heard it from Aisha here, and it goes all the way along here. The chain is weak. The reason why this chain is particularly weak is because it's a sole chain, meaning that it was not passed on by anybody else within this chain. So for example, Yahya only passed it on to Ibn Amr. Ibn Amr only passed it on to Yahya. Abdullah and Yahya only passed it on to Abdullah ibn Amr. And Abdullah Amr only passed it on to Musili. Meaning none of the students passed on any of this information. So this is one of the weakest chains of narrations known in the science of hadith. These sole narrations. That no student of knowledge actually took it on or passed it on. Means that somewhere down the line, somebody could have made it up and invented a chain of narration, and then it finally went on to the Hadith collector. That's what that means. Does that make sense? Okay. So even though your Yaqeen Institute, will tell you that there is different chains of narrations, quite correct, there is different chains of narrations. But the problem is, all of those different chains of narrations are weak chains of narrations. And they cannot be classified as Sahih. Okay. Was there another point that they tried to make with inside of the Yaqeen Institute? Sorry? Could you repeat that? What did you say? Was there any other points that they made?
Yeah. It says, Imam al-Zahabi said Hisham is considered an absolute authority.
Okay, and I'll show you why. Earlier scholars, remember Zahabi is quite late. I believe is he in the 13th century? I believe he's in the 13th century. Earlier scholars never saw him as that. And I'm going to give you some information right now, okay? So, let me do some screen sharing again. And this might be some information that you've never seen before. And again, bring it back to your scholars and your teachers and so forth and see what they say. All right. So let's go back to the contemporary and classical scholars who reject Hisham ibn Urwah's hadith. So the first one here is Imam Malik. Okay. What does Imam Malik say? Said here, Yahya saw Malik ibn Anas. And Al-Nawum I asked him about Hisham ibn Urwah. He said, what he narrated in our presence, it is correct. And what he narrated after he came out of us is weak. Okay? So whilst he was in Medina, we accept his hadiths. When he went out, we considered all of that stuff as weak. This is Malik ibn Anas. Okay? The great Imam of the four madhabs. This is what he says. Who else? We have Yaqub ibn Shayba, okay, who died.
Is this narration?
Sorry?
Is this narration reliable?
It is very reliable.
Okay.
You can find this if you go onto islamweb.com. You'll find this information. Furthermore, we could even take the Arabic right now. I'm going to do this right now in front of you, so we can just take the Arabic. Okay. Ooh, sugar. 1 second. Let's take the Arabic. What's going on? Let's go here. Boom. Okay. And you can go to anywhere. Let's see, Islam ports. There you go. Okay. And this is, it will translate it into the English for you and so forth. Like you will find this like everywhere. This is what he said. When you go into what's it called? Rijal, the Rijal, science of men, basically. You go in there, you can go on Islam.web, you click on Hisham ibn Urwah, and it will tell you what people had to say about him. Okay? Yaqub ibn Shayba says he is highly reliable. His narratives are acceptable, except what he narrated after moving over to Iraq. Okay? Abu Hassan ibn Qatan. It was explained in his narration, he reported things loosely on the authority of his father, which he had heard from other than his father. Okay? Let's see what else. The leading communities reject Hisham ibn Urwah's hadith. Okay? Let's see. Ali ibn al-Madani said, Yahya ibn Sa'id said, Hisham ibn Urwah said, I sat in a council with a congregation of Quraysh. I spoke with a hadith, and some of them denied it. I said I heard it from my father, and their response was, there is no proof of that. I said in an interview with the Iraqis about Hisham, he is heavily confused. Okay? Iraqis say he's heavily confused, as they said in their talk about Ma'mar. Ma'mar is another one who is also confused. Okay? So as we can see here, there is great doubts amongst the early scholars and his contemporaries in his work. This is why, I don't know if you've heard other people such as Mufti Abu Layth talking about him and saying, we don't even accept him. The Maliki school does not accept Hisham ibn Urwah, especially after he went out in Iraq. And this is where these verses or these quotes of Aisha marrying the Prophet at 9 years old comes from Iraq, from Hisham ibn Urwah. Okay. Was there anything else that the Yaqeen Institute was saying?
Well, nothing more against about Hisham bin Urwah. The others are about other criticisms.
Okay, but I would like to actually close up the show like real soon. But again, like this is actually a major topic. This is a big topic still. It's actually a big topic, and we're not even giving it any justice by just doing 1-2 little talks here and there. We've done shows on this talking about the age of Aisha and how it came into existence. That the age of Aisha is now 9 years of age, and in there we show where this hadith actually comes from. And it comes from this particular individual called Hisham ibn Urwah. There's other people that have made up these hadiths that may have ultimately heard it from Hisham ibn Urwah, but made up chains of narrations, or who are known to make up chains of narrations, or who are known to hide the defects within inside of their chains themselves, such as Al-Amash. And that's why you have these chains, and that's why Yaqeen Institute is saying, oh yes, but we have one going back to Al-Aswad. But if you continue in the chain of narrations, you know that that particular person within the narration is known to hide the defects within inside of the hadiths, such as Al-Amash. You go back and they will say, yes, but we hear it from Abdul Rahman. But any serious scholar and any serious person in the science of hadith would know that this particular chain is the weakest of all chains, because it's a sole narration that no other generation has passed down but this, claiming goes all the way back to Aisha, but yet nobody else heard of this. And this chain was not this particular hadith from the different the different hadith narrators never passed it on. It is the most fishiest of all chains of narrations. There is another 2 sets of chains of narrations we didn't go through because the Yaqeen Institute doesn't talk about it. But if the Yaqeen Institute wants to talk about it, we can talk about it. You dig? But we've collected all this information. This information is already there. So if you guys would like to go back and check it out, go back, check it out. Just type in Titanstv Age of Aisha. There is whole 3-hour-long videos on it. The Reanimator says... Sorry. Okay, go on, my brother.
So another claim that was made was regarding the age that was considered for puberty. What exactly was that? What exactly was that age? Was it for people who did not show other signs of puberty?
Are you asking me, or is that what the Yaqeen says? What are you saying?
No. You said about that the Malikis set the age at 18, 19 or something.
Correct. Yes, the Malikis and the Hanafis said the age at 18 and 19. Let me just bring it up for you to see. And again, okay. So this one here is from the book Contextualizing and Conceptualizing Minor Marriage, page 45. It says here, there are positions that state that maturity is reached by a female if she has not yet menstruated at age 17 and for a male at age 19. These are then considered the outer limits after which the law presumes maturity. In those rare instances where determination of bulagha is not linked to nocturnal emissions or menstruation, it is not a determined factor of legal classifications. We encounter opinions of both Abu Hanifa and the early scholars Sufar to the effect that the age of 18 is legally sufficient for becoming an adult. Let's see if we could go on a bit further. Imam, what book is this? The Essential Elements of, sorry, just chapter 3. What book is this? Anyways. It says here, okay, let's go here. It says here, major. The testator must be an adult who has attained the age of puberty. Thus, puberty is presumed by law to be between 15 and 18 years of age. Despite that majority of the jurists unanimously fixed the age of puberty at 15, yet, however, Imam Abu Hanifa personally fixed the age of puberty at 18 years, and according to another view, it is 19 years for the male and 17 years for the female. The oft-quoted view of the Malakites accords with the position of Imam Abu Hanifa, that is, the age of puberty is 18 years, but some of the Malakites fix it at 19. It was therefore held that a person will be major for executing the will with the age of 18 years, that is his age of maturity. Okay? So, the earliest schools of madhab, the earliest madhabs and the earliest of the four imams who were in Medina, who followed the amal, or the practices of the people, okay, was you are an adult at 18 and 19. You are able to be married at 18 or 19.
If you do not show other signs of puberty before that.
Sorry?
You are an adult at that age if you do not show other signs of puberty before that age. Is it what they say?
If you do not show signs of puberty at the age of 18, 19?
Before that age, you are an adult at this particular age.
If you show signs of adulthood before 18 or 19, are you an adult, are you saying?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It says quite clearly they fixed the age of puberty at 18 or 19. So the norm of the city of Medina, the city of the Prophet, you are an adult at the age of 18 or 19.
If you did not menstruate, have wet dreams, etc. Right?
Even if you have not menstruated, even if you don't show any signs as such, you are an adult at the age of 18 or 19.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That is the ruling from both Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik ibn Anas. Yes. Okay. Real quickly, I'm going to take some questions. What are you guys saying in the chat room? What are you saying? What are you guys saying? Talk to me. Titanstv, this still does not take into account that it was common knowledge. Sorry, what was common knowledge? The Reanimator, please just type in what was common knowledge real quickly. Because I'm trying to close down the show, you know, family tree. Yeah? I need to relax myself too. Okay? So tell me, what was common knowledge? And again, if you guys would like to join, join the chat room with us, you lot can, you know. You lot can actually join in with us and talk to us once the show is finished or once we're online. Okay, let me get the code. What is the code? God damn. Okay. Let's see. Let me share. There you go. Copy link. There you go. But I'm trying to go off air because we've been here for way too long. Trying to do short shows, but you lot got me here forever. Okay. It was common knowledge. Still does not take into account that it was common knowledge. Her age. Her age. What was her age? What was her age that was common knowledge? You tell me, what was her age that was common knowledge? You gotta tell me. You will find out that there's almost no such thing as common knowledge when it comes to the history of Islam. There is accepted knowledge or accepted statements in Islam, but it's never common or meaning prevailing. Just at a later stage, people begin to accept it. So 6 and 9. Nope, that was not common knowledge. Again, remember, this particular thing came about with Hisham ibn Urwah. Her being 6 and 9 years old came about with Hisham ibn Urwah. There was no such age that was circulating prior. Hisham ibn Urwah came with that. Okay? Prior to that, there wasn't. And remember, people rejected it. We spoke earlier on, Ahlul al-Kalam rejected it. Ahlul al-Ra'ay rejected it, i.e. the Maliki school rejected this hadith. The people of Medina rejected this hadith. Just to put it out there, it was rejected. Places such as Kufa, people in Kufa accepted it. People in Iraq accepted it. Then, when the Ashab al-Hadith won the day, when the Mutasilites waned in power, and the school of Ahmed ibn Hanbal rose in power, these things were accepted and became what you consider to be accepted common knowledge. But prior to that, it wasn't. Okay? All right. Bukhari didn't question it. That's a good question. You will find that other people, like Ibn Kathir, he had his reservations on it. He just said, but you know what? People seem to accept it. A lot of people were like, you know, I'm not even trying to go against the grain. You know? A lot of people, if you read Tabari, again, as we read earlier on about Tabari, you saying, listen, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This here is talking about women. But to not go into a lot, we've shown that Surah 65 verse 4 is clearly discussing women, 3 different categories of women. We showed that the Arabic language does not say that does not equate a woman to a child, a girl, a boy, or a man. And this is according to Tabari himself, we're quoting from. We also show you there's 3 major schools of thought. A lot of them died out due to the 3rd school of thought gaining power and authority, i.e. the 3 different schools of thoughts were the Ahl al-Ra'i, okay, Ahl al-Ra'i, which was to do with Abu Hanifa's school and Imam Malik's school. We went through the Ahl al-Kalam, which were to do with they kind of like the Quran only. They utilize the Quran and their own logical reasoning to come to a jurisprudence principles. Okay, then you had the third group, which Shafi was the first to kind of give birth to, and then it developed later on with Ahmed ibn Hanbal, and this was the Ashab al-Hadith, or the Ahl al-Hadith, okay, the people of Hadith. And they the people of Hadith utilize Hadiths even if they were weak. I don't think Shafi did. Actually, Shafi didn't utilize weak Hadiths, to my knowledge. That's Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Even it developed. So he started to use these Hadiths even though they were weak, and even though the people of Medina and other places never have had these practices, but because they equated the Hadiths to revelation, okay, they made, from Shafi'i's time, okay, it developed later on, but from Shafi'i's time, they equated Hadiths with revelations, so they're equal to one another. To the point you will realize that even the Hadiths were even superior than the Quran with the traditionalists. Because via the Hadiths, you could abrogate certain verses off the Quran. And then people were talking about this. People were writing. What did they write and say? Let me before I shut it down, let me just quickly see. What did they write and say? 1 second. Ba-da-bam-ba-dam-ba-dam. In the time of Shafi'i and before, I believe it's in Let's see, what were they writing and saying? Let's see. I want to go to Hadith is scripture. Okay, Hadith is scripture. So these are some good books I'm giving you guys. Good books. Family tree. Where's the super chats at? Where's the donations at? Hey, listen. Where's the what's that thing called? Cash at me, baby. Go in the description box and cash at me, baby. Show some love. What is this? I'm giving you guys some good information and you're not even showing no love in return. Lord have mercy. Y'all must think these books, y'all must think these big, heavy, hefty books of Abu Hanifa and them ones there, yeah, are free. Come on, man, show some love. It's me, I have to go through all of this. I have to purchase all these books. I have to spend my time doing all this reading for you guys. Y'all can show some love, family tree. Y'all can show some love. Hold on.
Excuse me.
1 second, my brother. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Because I'm always looking.
Which tafsir did you claim said it was only referring to women?
Sorry?
Which tafsir did you claim it was referring to only women?
Only women? No tafsir at all. Tafsir is, you'll find it referencing to girls. The Quran talks about women. Quran chapter 65 verse 4.
Who said that?
I say it and the Quran says it.
No, you cited a source which said that word is not used for girls.
Oh, sorry, that was Tabari.
Okay.
So right here, let me share my screen so you can. I think you can see it. I believe you can see it here. It says here, children are not called women. Rather, they are called children or little girls. Nisa, women in Arabic, is the plural of imra'ah, woman. And the Arabs do not refer to the female infant or child or prepubescent as woman, just as they do not say to the male prepubescent child, man.
Mm-hmm. Here, this is. I'm stuck at this part where it says. It highlights the part. It says lam yakhadna, and then it says lam yablugna haid. In one particular part, it says.
Where on the what you seen on the screen or what?
I'm actually seeing the tafsir of Tabari in Quran.com of this particular verse.
Yeah, I'm not talking about tafsir.
You said Tabari claimed that.
I said Tabari, right here, Jami' al-Bayan, volume 4, verse 355, talking about the word women, discussing the word women. And this was in particular in chapter 2, the Kal Bakra, verse 236. But if you want to find it, it's in Al-Tabari, Jami' al-Bayan.
It's the same person who claims in another part of his tafsir where he reports, where he shares a report which says they did not attain menstruation. سمعت أبا معاذ يقول أنا عبيد قال سمعت.
Sorry, 1 second, my brother. 1 second. Let me just quickly go to the to everybody who's showing some love right about now. I see you guys. Let me just go to it. Let me go. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Let me go on to this. Yeah, shouts out to Marcus Bogle. Jeez, dropping that big money. I love it. I love it. Oh no, I gave you £10 a month for a year, but you went offline when I started. Oh no, but you went offline when I started. Is it? Hey, bang, 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 bang. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Shouts out to what's his name? Annibal. He's dropped me this thing, CASHAPP. Yeah, the CASHAPP thing. He said, listen, do that. Yeah. So if you don't want to support, like, this is a good place to support as well. It's CASHAPP. And the reason why, all you have to do is type in Titanstv. I don't know. You guys know this stuff more than me because I'm hearing that there's other streamers that's doing this, right? So it says go to CASHAPP, just type in Titanstv and you can cash app me, right? If you want to do donations. And he said the reason why you should do it. No, he didn't say the reason why. I realized the reason why people are using CASHAPP and these other things is that YouTube is taking, I think it's like 60% or 40%, whatever it is of whatever you send over via the super chats, YouTube is taking. So yeah, show some love, man, and thanks for the support for everybody who's actually supporting and giving the donations through. I love it. Okay, and also everybody who's doing the super chats here, I love it. Everybody who's sharing the channel, I love it. Everybody who's hitting the like button, baby, hit the like button. I love it. Okay. And yeah, people saying, is Ibn Abbas lying? The question is, like, is this actually Ibn Abbas saying these things? Do you see? This is what we have to figure out. Is it Ibn Abbas saying these things? Yeah? Just like, is it Aisha saying these things? Because you will hear a report. It comes from Aisha, from Hisham ibn Urwah, from this person, from Urwah, from Hisham ibn Urwah, to this person, to that person. But then you go into it and you're like, hold on. The people in the chain of narrations can't be trusted. The people in the chain of narrations try to hide a defect inside of the hadith itself by inserting certain names and saying they heard it from this person, or heard it on the authority of this person, or received the hadith in a written text from this person, or whatever the case is, but really and truly they never. So a lot of it is attributed to somebody, but never really came from that person. Just like Bukhari said, he sifted through 600,000 hadiths that went back to the Prophet Muhammad. So imagine if that 600,000 went to the Prophet Muhammad. How much of those 600,000 went through a hadith that claimed they heard it from Ibn Abbas? Just think about that. How many of these hadiths went through Ibn Abbas or said they heard it from Ibn Abbas? You know? And if you guys would like me to, you lot can give me the hadith with the full chain of narrations, and I can do it for you, you know? I can do it for you. I can go through and sift out whether these people are, or whether the hadith is sahih, according to the science of hadith. I can do it for you. But really and truly, you lot should be asking the imams and going to the flipping mosques to be asking them instead of coming to me to be doing it. You know that? You know you lot are cheeky. Cheeky, pure phone calls and text messages at random times of night. Hey, yo, Kalam, I beg you tell me this. Like I don't have a life. Like I don't have businesses that I'm running. But you want me to do it for you. Oh yeah, if you want me to do it from now onwards, if you don't want me to do something, yeah, show me the money. Because it's long, you know. It's long. But I'll do it for you, you know, because I love you guys. I'll do it for you. Alright. Family tree. I can smell my food just cooking right now, you know. This is why I'm trying to rush offline, you know. I've been here for like 3 hours. But anyways, family, what we saying? Because I'm trying to shut down the show. Again, the chat link is up. Yeah, go through. The Skype link is there. So if you guys would like to come through and talk with everybody who's on here right now, come true. Yeah, you can do that. All right, I might even come back in. I will come back in. Do you accept PayPal? Yeah, I do have a PayPal. I do have a PayPal, but let me see. Whose name is the PayPal actually in? Oh, that's the question. That is the question. Okay, I have one. Easy. Let me see. Let me sign in quickly. Let me see what it is. Next. Password next. Mobile. Authentication required. Next. Damn, type in the code. Yeah, I have a PayPal. I'm not too sure how you do it. I'm not too sure. I do know the email address that is linked to. Furthermore, it's here. Actually, it's here, isn't it? Yeah, look. PayPal me Titanstv. There it is. Can you imagine? It's right there. There you go. That's the PayPal. Oh, you did Patreon? Yeah, I don't even know. I don't think the Patreon is working again, you know. I don't know if the Patreon is actually working, but those are the things. Like, in the description box, you can see it says Donate Titanstv. They've got a Cash App one. It's got a PayPal one. Those are the two that I'm aware of. And again, you got the YouTube. And I'm grateful for all the support, Family Tree. I'm fully grateful because it helps a lot. Pays off all the costs to running these things, you know. God, it's not easy. It's not easy. You spend like a good, let me think, on internet alone, it's like £50 a month to be doing this. Because you got to do the highest speed to go through. Then you got to do the whole, how I'm showing you everything via the videos and stuff like that. It's like another £30 a month I have to spend on that. Then, listen, it's not easy though. When I just calculate how much I spend on all this stuff, yeah, and I'm like, yo, nah, man. If you not ain't showing no love, I ain't even doing this for free no more, fam. I got businesses to be running. Every time I'm spending all these hours doing this, nah, man. I feel away at times, and then you don't show me no appreciation. Nah, man. I feel away at times. I ain't gonna lie, you know. I'm like, no, they don't deserve me. They don't deserve me. My intelligence. How dare you? Jeez, man said I should have 100,000 there if you haven't checked. Jeez, hey, I haven't checked, you know. I haven't checked. So I'm gonna say, but hey, I haven't checked yet. But listen, see what I'm saying? Man, like reanimate, man dropped a cool 100, you know, a cool 100. Do you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna pay my Wi-Fi for the next 2 months, fam. Yeah, salute. All thanks to the reanimate. Oh, might be 140. Jeez. Yeah, all thanks to the man like Reanimator, you know. He supplied you with Titanstv for the next 2 to 3 months. Salute to the Reanimator. Yeah, love for that. Jeez. Alright, my good brother who's on here, Yahya, I'm closing down the show, but we're gonna talk still, okay? Anyways, family tree,
Yeah.
peace and love. I'm out. Young Cali, baby. Oh man. Hey, let me see. I haven't even closed out the show yet, you know. Let me just wait. There we go. Wait. Yeah. Peace. I'm out. Oh no. What? PayPal link not working? Listen. If it's not working, yeah, you know what you don't need to do? The CASHAPP. Go onto the CASHAPP, yeah, and do it on there. I don't know again. Anyways, peace and love, man. I'll catch you guys soon.